All right. Let me know how the audio sounds in my second attempt trying to get on this. By the way, this is D-Style Boxing. Thanks to those joining me live and to those that'll be joining me on archive. If you're listening on archive right now, take a moment, press the thumbs up button. Make sure it turns blue. If you like the content, make sure you press that subscribe button. And for all the listeners, not just people just subscribing, for all of you, check the bell button. I was looking through my analytics, bro. Only 10% of people that watch my videos getting notification. That's it. That's it. Press the damn bell button so you're notified. How does it sound now? How do we sound? Clear. Perfect. It wasn't the mic. I have a really good, this headset I have is really, really good. So I thought, unless it's broken. But yeah, I heard it myself, and it was definitely the internet. I just had to reset my modem. I reset the computer, and here we are. Shout out to Stormy. Stay with me as I go over some of these things, give you some insight. First of all, multiple sources online. I saw an interview with Beeb did with Bob Arum as well. It's been reported, and it's out there, that Deontay Wilder will be exercising his rematch clause. He wants that trilogy. The trilogy's coming. Whether you're against it, for it, well, it doesn't matter. It's going to happen. And we're going to see how that goes. I'm sure news will transpire. I have more thoughts, even further thoughts tomorrow on Aftermath. But right now, I have to say that as a boxing fan, I like this. Hear a lot of people, giving their take and their opinion, which is fine. Man, if it was me, JMJ, I appreciate everybody's support, by the way. And I do want to thank everybody for their condolences and all that. I appreciate it. I read the comments, went through them. I appreciate it very much. Now let's talk some boxing. As far as this fight, I get it, right? People are like, man, if it was me, I wouldn't take the rematch right away. If I was Team Wilder, man, I wouldn't do it. I do this, I do that. If I was this, I do that. If I was him, I'd work on this, I'd work on that. We're all here to give our take and opinions, and there's nothing wrong with that. But what's going to happen is going to happen. And what's going to happen is a trilogy. It's going to happen. We talk all day, if I was this, if I was that. Well, we're not Deontay Wilder. So we, you know what I mean? The fight's going to happen. It's going to go down. Shit is going to go down. The fight's going to happen. It's on. And I know there's a lot of people out there saying, how are they going to sell this fight? All these people that know nothing about marketing, all these people that don't know anything about these things. You know what I mean? But they're over here giving their take. You guys want to listen to the Michael Monteros of the world and the Kevin Iolis and talking about how this event didn't make money, and because they know, right? Coppinger came out with numbers like 5 days after the fight, and everybody's running with it. And Ioli came out made a whole column talking about how this event was not a success. People just going out of their way to say that this event was not a success. Just going out of their way. It's a high. Like I want you. Like I'm gonna say this, right? Let me say that what I'm about to say, right? And tell me if you'll be stupid enough to say it wasn't a success. This fight broke the live gate record for heavyweight boxing. All right? I repeat, this fight broke the live gate record for heavyweight boxing in the history of boxing. Oh, but Batista, if you factor in inflation, who talks like that? You know what I mean? When Lewis Holyfield broke the record, you could have brought up inflation if you wanted to be a fucking asshole too. You could have brought up inflation too then, but they didn't. When Avengers Endgame broke, the opening weekend record at the box office, the people bring up how Gone with the Wind, has made more money if you factor in inflation. Did anybody say something stupid like that? No. But let's leave that nonsense aside. But nobody said that. Do you guys really think D-Stock comes out and says things? I have receipts. Kevin Iole was one of the people that came out and said, if you factor in inflation, it's not as big. Okay? You want me to give you names? I'll give you fucking names. I don't just say things. That's just the gate. Over 20,000 people watched it in the theater alone. $20 a pop. Those do not count as pay-per-view buys, by the way. That's just extra money. That's just extra. I'm not even talking about the sponsors. There's people that wanted to sponsor their shit in this fight because millions of eyeballs around the world were going to watch it. Conor McGregor put his fucking, that company, whatever the fuck it's called, somebody can put in the chat. And this show I'm cooking, by the way, so I apologize if I'm not going through the comments. I'm just cooking here. An old school, dragon style, just fucking cooking on this shit. The hell's the name of that damn whiskey? In the middle of the ring. First thing McGregor did, tweeted it out. He was so proud. And that thing was in the middle of the ring. All right? They paid money for that. They had to pay for that. That shit goes to the highest bidder. Proper 12. Thank you, make 12. That's just extra money. Like, you know what I mean? Was Kevin Iole there? When there was people that when they sold it to the highest bidder. You don't think Corona wanted to be in the middle of that fucking ring? You don't think another beer wanted to be there, the whiskey? Cazadores or some shit? You don't think they wanted to be there? Talk about pitch them, and guess what? They have to pay for that slot. That's advertisement. Oh, this is brought to you by this. That's advertisement. Oh, I'm sure Kevin Iole has the numbers on that. I'm sure he has all the numbers on that shit. And in the fight, $80 a pop. Okay. Let me repeat. $80 a pop. And even, let's say we believe the number. Let's say it's 850,000. $80 a pop, over $60 million. That's not including the gate. That's not including the rights that hundreds of countries paid to have the rights to air this fight. That's not including the UK pay-per-view. That's not including the Australian pay-per-views. That's not including, any other form of paying to watch this fight. No, Batista, there's no buts. But you want to hear crap like, oh, it's got to do 1.1 million to break even. Says who? Says who? Where the fuck are you guys getting these figures from? They literally came up with these figures out of their ass. Okay? Out of their fucking ass. They came out with these figures. It came out of their fucking ass. The only way I could possibly believe, I'm thinking maybe is the whole like what are the guaranteed added up, and then the undercard fighters, what they have to pay them or something like that. That's the only thing I could think of. But I just went through multiple ways that this fight made money. Multiple ways. Multiple. A lot of you people on here made money because of this fight. Right? You come on here, you tell about the fight. If you're hating on Wilder, you get super chats. If you love Wilder, you get super chats. Hate on Fury, super chats. Love the fight, hate the fight, but you're talking about the fight, super chats. Right? You motherfuckers making money out of the damn fight. The only ones not making money out of the fight are these boxing writers, and they're fucking angry about it. Right? So let me go in on Kevin Iole before I talk about the trilogy. I really want to talk about the fight. Right? Kevin Iole went on a Twitter rant. All right? What's up to Nassim the Dream, Trigger Happy J, AJ10? I see you guys. Mr. Boxing Today, too. Heavyweight Boxing King. You guys subscribe to Mr. Boxing Today if you're not already. There's at least one dude right now that's not subscribed. At least one of you. Go subscribe to Mr. Boxing Today, too. Go subscribe to Stormer B-Man as well. Check it out. Kevin Iole went on a long rant and, talking about how the pay-per-view model has to be looked at again because it's a dying industry, he said. Right? And he said that this fight was a failure given the amount of promotion that it had and the numbers that it did, allegedly. Right? That's what he said. He basically said the event was a failure. It didn't do the 1.1 million that they had to do to break even, which is ridiculous, by the way. That's retarded. And then the guy says that's a dying model, so therefore, these boxing guys like PBC and ESPN, whoever, they need to figure out something else because this ain't working out, right? This pay-per-view thing, it just is not working out. Chicano Profit, I appreciate the support. See, I make money off of this shit. You're not going to hate on this fight when all I do is make money when I talk about this fight? Oh, I don't like the fight, but you guys keep making videos about it. Isn't that funny? Nobody cares about Wilder Fury, man, but they keep making videos about it, right? I appreciate that, Chicano Profit. I really do. So, here's my thing. Why don't you make a column, or why don't you go on a Twitter rant, Iole, about the zone? Because I hate to break it to you guys. The zone is not profitable right now. They're not making money off of boxing. They're not, like, why don't they have that same energy for fucking the zone? The zone is still trying to make, they're still trying to get a return on their fucking investment. Look at what they're paying Triple G. Like, do you really think they've got a return on their investment on fucking Triple G? Even Canelo, you think they made a return on that fucking investment? Let's be objective about this. Now, that doesn't mean, before some smartass says, are you saying you'd rather pay $80 for one fight? You'd rather pay $80 for one fight? Rather than, pay $20 for a whole month of boxing? I could pay $100, and I could watch boxing the whole year. Well, guess what? They're still not making money, bro. Right? I'm not talking about what, of course, someone would rather pay $20 for the same fight than 80. That goes without saying. But that's not even the point. The point is, if the event is a success, it's a success. Okay? The zone isn't succeeding. All these guys like Coppinger, Mannix, and guys that conveniently work for the zone, all right, that don't want to give this pay-per-view credit for what it accomplished. Look at that conflict. Just think about the conflict of interest right there. Just think about that conflict of interest. Just think about that. The zone is doing nothing but losing money. But you don't see them going on a rant. Oh, they got to come up with another concept, bro, because, you're like, what are you guys talking about? If you want to pay, if fighters in boxing, okay, are going to make $30 million paydays or more and shit like that, okay, the only way to do it is pay-per-view. Okay, that's the only way. And by the way, I already know there's going to be some dude. I already know it. Some of them are watching. Maybe they're not commenting, but they're watching. What's going on? TRILOGY will be epic. Hashtag Bomb Squad. I appreciate the support to the D-Style Boxing Fun. I want you guys to listen to me very closely. All right? If you want to brag to MMA fans how boxers are, living the life and boxing's king, because look at what our fighters make and all that shit. If you want to have that advantage over arguments against MMA fans, like if you want to be the sport that pays the fighters well and there's an ultimate prize at the end of that fucking tunnel. Because when you become world champion, big paydays. That's what boxing's about, right? Like, if we're going to be that sport, then we got to be that sport. All right? Because guess what? If there isn't big paydays, less people are going to start taking risks because boxing is a dangerous sport. These motherfuckers putting their life on the line. Okay, but what do you want them to do? Fight for slave wages for their whole fucking life or what? Or should these prize fighters be rewarded? I'm sorry. An app subscription is not going to make money, to make profit, to pay fighters that type of money. Man, I don't care, man. I don't want to talk about the money, man. There's always those dudes. I don't want to talk about the money, bro. I don't care about the money, bro. I don't give a fuck about that, man. I just care about the boxing, bro. I just care about the boxing. You motherfuckers that talk like that illegally stream the fights anyway. I don't know what the fuck you're complaining about. Honest to God. All right? You dudes, you even stream the zone fights, for God's sakes. Okay? You're over here complaining about this and that. This shit's crazy. Go buy your shoes at Payless. I'll wear Jordans, okay? Oh, man, I don't care, man. Shoes are shoes, bro. As long as I can walk, okay, fine. But look. That's not even the point. The point is they want to call this event a failure when it wasn't. This event made the money to justify what these fighters are getting paid. Wilder and Fury can justify making the money that they made because the event generated that money. They can justify it. That's what they could do. Did I miss a super chat? Ronald, thanks very much for that super chat. Support. I appreciate it. You guys gotta understand that this event could justify what these guys got paid. They made a return on the investment that they made. All right? They can justify it. The Zone has yet to justify what they're paying Canelo. They have yet to justify what they're paying Golovkin. They have yet to justify it. Their investments, and they're looking for a return on their investment, they haven't made it. But I don't see that same energy. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it yet. All right? I'm just saying. All right? Now, let me say this too. Kevin Iole, right, also covers MMA. Kevin Iole doesn't have that same energy for MMA. He's not telling Dana White to pay the fighters more. Not that I've seen. If he has, he has. But he hasn't said anything about UFC. Oh, UFC pay-per-view is a dying industry. You got to let that go. Just go to a $20 a month plan for all the fight fans. They haven't done that. Why doesn't he do that? By the way, do a lot of you guys, like, do you really believe those numbers, by the way, that come out from the UFC? Do you believe those numbers? Like when Dana White says that Khabib and McGregor did over 2 million buys, did you guys actually believe that? Like, you're actually believing that? You actually sit down, like you actually walk around believing that? You really believe they did 2 million? Let's leave aside that the pay-per-views cost less. Let's just leave that aside. You really believe it did 2 million? If it did 2 million, they wouldn't have an asterisk and then saying unofficial numbers on ESPN when the event was on ESPN Plus. UFC is a private company. They don't have to tell you the numbers. They can flat out make it up if they want, right? But for UFC, guys like Kevin Iole and a bunch of other writers that write for both sports, I mean, they'll help support that narrative. Oh, we're selling, we're popping, we're doing this, and UFC's popping, bro. You know what I mean? They'll support that. I'm here to say, right, that I don't give a shit what happens with UFC and MMA. I don't care. Right? Some of their fans say some of the most disgusting things about boxing. A lot of you guys over here trying to be fair, like both sports. Okay? Yeah, I'm just saying. A lot of you guys, I want to be fair. I want to show support to MMA too, and I want to support UFC as well, and you know what I mean? And say nothing but positive things about UFC and MMA, and then you guys talk boxing. All you do is trash today's fighters and say they don't compare to the fighters of the past. Well, one, boxing has a long, rich history, right? So we just compare it to the fighters of the past. Right? In MMA, everyone just joins in. Oh, every year MMA evolves and gets better and better. And you know what I mean? Like the narratives, the way you guys talk about it, it's just different. All right? And a lot of you crossover fans, a lot of you guys that like both, which I'm not even saying there's something wrong with liking both. There isn't. Okay? But you do this thing where you just bash boxing non-stop and just praise MMA like all the time, right? When a lot of MMA fans that don't like boxing say some of the most disgusting things about boxing. And look, I've criticized boxing, but I have valid criticisms about it, right? I also know that if like that Chocolatito fight last night, okay, if that was a UFC fight, okay, they'd use that fight as proof that MMA is better than boxing. See, we get fights we want in MMA. Chocolatito just fought so-and-so. He's a legend. Now, granted, they do that anyway here, but in the media, it just gets amplified in MMA. That's all, right? But look, like if Donaire and Inouye was a UFC fight, like it would just be talked about differently. It would, right? Now, a lot of us boxing fans like that fight, and you know what I mean. It's within our community. But like a Dana White would be talking about that. It was the greatest fight of all time. If two similar guys fought in UFC like that, okay. But with that said, I don't want to go too long on that whole thing. I think I made my point about the pay-per-views. I think I made my point about that, okay? And let me say this, and to give you an example about a lot of these MMA fans, right? Now, a lot of them are young, and in fairness, boxing has to do a better job of reaching out to a younger audience, all right? We don't reach out to a young audience that much. We don't. And boxing has a lot of flaws, a lot of things it needs to fix, and all that. But everything you guys complain about, like, you guys been complaining for years about marinating fights and all this, that. But then you complain, and Wilder says, I want that smoke, and I want it again. I want it now, right? You complain for years about guys not taking chances and protecting their own and being scared of losing. And the reason Mayweather wasn't defeated because Mayweather didn't fight nobody. He ducked everybody. When you fight somebody, you lose. And, you guys been saying this shit for years. And Wilder comes out and says, I want that smoke immediately. Boxing fans, being the contrarians that they are, start complaining about that. I mean, Big Brian's over here criticizing Wilder. Wilder's already lost twice, and I have receipts and all that. But Big Brian still supported, Fedor for his whole career. He didn't hold that same energy like when Fedor wanted some. He just said positive things about Fedor. I'm just saying. So, let's keep that same energy. Is all I'm saying. This is what you guys have been saying you want. You've been saying, I want these guys to go to that smoke. I don't want fighters to be scared of losing. Go for it. And we'll still support you and this and that. That's the only thing MMA fans do better than boxing fans, by the way. They don't abandon ship when a dude loses. All right? Now, for a lot of you crossover fans, you just have a different energy for your MMA fighters and the boxing fight. I'm just being honest. I've noticed that, which is cool, but I'm just calling you out on it. All right? Now, look. Check it out. Make sure you guys press the like button, by the way. Press the like. All right? This is what I could say. Check it out. Earlier today, I saw someone just like it was just on my timeline on Twitter, and the guy's like, man, boxing's a dying sport. This is the type of shit they say over there, okay? And a lot of you crossover fans, you just, whatever. But I'm just being honest. Oh, boxing's a dying sport. It ain't gonna, they've been saying that for years, bro. Like, I remember they said that De La Hoya needs to beat Mayweather because then boxing will die. Because Mayweather won't be able to sell. I still remember that. They were saying, for the good of boxing, De La Hoya needs to knock out Floyd Mayweather because Mayweather can't sell. If De La Hoya loses, MMA's going to take over. Okay, there's that infamous Joe Rogan, by the way. You see Joe Rogan now? Can't stop talking about boxing. Can't stop talking about it. 15 years ago, the dude was on ESPN talking about how that's it. Like, Any star boxing had has already been created before the rise of MMA. And now boxing will create no more stars and MMA will take over in 10 years. Well, I've been waiting like 20 years, motherfucker. All right? It still hasn't happened. It hasn't happened yet. But if you ever want to trigger like an MMA fan, right? If you ever want to do that, so the guy was saying that boxing, and look, there's some truth to this. There is. That boxing should be ashamed because Paulie Malignaggi lost a bare knuckle fight to Lobov, right? Lobov being like, pretty much an average, middle of the road MMA fighter. All right? Whose ground game isn't that good, which is why he wasn't that good in MMA. All right? But that's not here nor there. Now, let's leave aside that if you score it the way you score boxing, Paulie clearly outboxed him. Okay? But it was competitive, and Paulie Malignaggi did officially lose that fight. Okay? Now, let's leave aside, by the way, the fact that MMA fighters are doing bare knuckle boxing. Okay, let's just leave that aside. All right? Let's just set that aside for a moment. All right? Like their idea of taking it to the next level is doing bare knuckle boxing now. From MMA to bare knuckle boxing. Okay. Let's just leave that aside for a moment. Many boxing channels, including my own, and I have the fucking receipts to prove it. That's the great thing about having a boxing channel. You have receipts. I said it's very possible that Paulie Malignaggi could break his fucking hand and lose this fight. That's what I said. And that's actually what happened. Right now, Paulie is still walking with fucking pellets in his hand. Right? Everyone knew that if Paulie Malignaggi can't wear orthopedic gloves, all right, which boxing, allows fighters to wear, right? I repeat, orthopedic gloves, all right? Gloves that are designed to put extra padding on the knuckle area and around your wrist so you don't break your fragile hand, right? Then Paulie Malignaggi's fucked. That's what I say, right? But with all that said, it's still embarrassing, and he's still embarrassed the sport. The dude should be ashamed of himself, and I wish Paulie Malignaggi would just shut the fuck up, because he's over here, talent fighters this and that, but the motherfucker got beat in an MMA fight. I'm in a bare knuckle fight to an MMA fighter. Okay, I'm just putting that out there. So the guy tweets out that is proof. He said that's proof that MMA stand-up with the hands is superior than boxing with the hands. That's what he said. I swear to God, that's what he said. And I said, so I respond, and I said, you're not serious. Like you're not serious right now, right? Because one, if it was in a boxing ring and Paulie could wear his orthopedic gloves, okay. By the way, any boxer with orthopedic gloves, all right, like Floyd Mayweather, by the way, okay. I don't want to hear how they would be dominant in the 50s too. I just don't want to hear it, okay. With 50 fights, the dude's hands were falling apart. Get the fuck out of here, all right? Dude wouldn't even get to the title fight with Sugar Ray Robinson. Okay, he wouldn't even get there. He'd be one of those dudes that retired after 30 fights and shit. Right? Couldn't even get to the title. But I'm not even gonna go there. Right? Orthopedic gloves save the dude's career. Right? Dudes with fragile hands could box now. You know what I mean? Because we got special gloves for them. But it's okay. Look. In all seriousness, so continuing the story. It's a fascinating story. You guys are going to like it. I swear to God. Stay here. Press the like button. So I first asked, are you serious, bro? What? Do you really believe that MMA fighters got better hands than boxers? That you really believe that? Yeah, that's proof. I never want to hear anything. So I, you know what I did? So I said, look, if you want to talk about a fighter going to another sport and winning, okay, okay. So and men's sport. I don't really count the women's, by the way. I know people. Oh, Holly Holm. It is true. Holly Holm was a boxing world champion, went to MMA, destroyed Ronda Rousey and all that. But like, women's combat sports is different, bro. Like they're not at the level of the men. I just got to be honest. All right, I just have to be honest. So just men. Jeremy Williams, after getting knocked out by Samuel Peter, he got knocked the fuck out. Okay, went to sleep. NyQuil treatment. Jeremy Williams went to MMA, and he went 5-0, and then he was old already. By the way, dude retired. Right. So I bring that up. I said, dude, Jeremy Williams went to MMA, won 5 fights. You know what I mean? And the guy says, no, but those guys were nobodies. They were just a bunch of nobodies. Those fights don't count. He said the fights don't count. Dude was 5-0 in MMA. The fights don't count. What do you mean they don't count? Dude's not an MMA fighter. You went in 5-0. Like, you got to give him some credit for that. Nah, they don't count. Okay, fine. Ray Mercer. Right? Ray Mercer was old, washed up, okay? Dude. Ray Mercer, bro. Ray Mercer had to walk to the ring with a walker. Okay, he had one of those walkers, or a cane or something, to get to the ring, bro. They had to pull out a wheelchair to wheel him and help him up the steps, bro. That's how old Ray Mercer was, bro. All right? Like, Ray Mercer was old, washed up. He wasn't relevant in heavyweight boxing anymore, right? And unfortunately, they actually sanctioned, which is basically almost a crime, by the way. These motherfuckers sanctioned an MMA fight with an old Ray Mercer against a former UFC heavyweight champion, Tim Silva. Ray Mercer could have gotten seriously hurt. So anyway, we all know the story. Tim Silva was going around saying he wants to fight Klitschko, and at the time that he wants to be a heavyweight champion in boxing. He said, "Oh, I just have to worry about the hands. I don't have to worry about getting kicked no more. Somebody taking me down. All I got to do is worry about the hands. It is easy. Piece of cake," he said. And he wanted his first opponent to be an old, washed up Ray Mercer. Now, everyone knew, even though he was old and washed up, even though the dude had to walk, be carried to the ring with a walker and shit, right? Even though Mercer was like 90 years old and, had a beer belly and shit, even though Ray Mercer couldn't even do road work no more, dude was old, bro. Like, Ray Mercer was so old. Holy shit. Washed up. So many fights under his belt. So many wars. I just want you to think about it. I'm saying all this for a reason. I'm saying it for a reason. And Tim Silva challenged him to a boxing fight. Ray Mercer was over there minding his own business. I want to box you. I want to put your name in my resume. All right? Because I'm going for the heavyweight championship in boxing. Because it's easy. I only have to worry about the hands. Right? He was talking like it was going to be a piece of cake. Last second, the commission says, look, we're not going to sanction a boxing fight in an MMA cage. Right? They wouldn't sanction. They wouldn't sanction the sideshow for a boxing fight. So last second, they turn on to say, oh, it's an MMA fight now. Ray Mercer was preparing for a boxing match. And then last second, it's MMA. Gonna face his former UFC champion in an MMA cage. That's right. So what happened? Tim Silva. A lot of people are saying that Tim Silva tried to box Ray Mercer. You know what? Fuck you. How about that? He threw a kick at Ray Mercer's legs. And then Ray Mercer clocked him. Okay? With a right hand. And then still hit him again when he was down, too. Okay? On that slippery ass, okay, fucking MMA, fucking barefoot and all. Shit's slippery. It feels like you're in a fucking jumping balloon and shit. He managed to get us enough footing to knock this motherfucker out. Now, I want you to think about this. Imagine if that was in a boxing ring. He might have killed Tim Silva. Okay? He knocked him out cold. Right? Like 8 seconds or something. So anyway, I brought that up to that guy. Oh, yeah, well, what about when Ray Mercer knocked out Tim Silva? You know what the guy said? He told... Yo, I swear to God. The guy said, that one doesn't count because... It didn't count because he said, oh, you idiot, that was a boxing fight. I said, no, it wasn't. That was an MMA fight. He threw a kick at the legs of Mercer before Mercer knocked him out. What are you talking about? Ronald Finkley, talk the talk. I'm listening. Absolutely. You guys tune in right here. D-Style Boxing Live. Press the like button. What'd you say? He was a very good heavyweight. Yeah, he was. Finally said something good, Hawker Mustang. I'm surprised. But he knocked the dude out smooth, bro. Ray, you know they always talk about, oh, if an MMA fighter and a boxing guy get an argument in the front lawn, who would win? Well, in this case, an old Ray Mercer would have knocked out Tim Silva, okay? And he could have taken his wallet, taken his money. He had enough time to take his wallet, take the money out, okay? Slowly walk to his car, turn it on, drive away. You know what I mean? Tim Silva was going to be napping, bro. Dude was out, okay? So I brought that up, just to prove a point. No, to Tim Silva, it doesn't count. I said, why? Why doesn't it count? Tim Silva was washed up. Wait, what? Wait a minute. Well, what do you mean Tim Silva was washed up? Tim Silva was just, he wasn't that far away from being a UFC world champion. Knocked out Andre Arlovski. Well, what are you talking about? Was in a war with Nogueira and shit. Like, making it sound like this dude, was like a nobody. I'm not saying he was the best, but he was a former. No, he doesn't count. Like, what do you mean he doesn't count? You can't just disown the dude. You can't just erase history. Well, what about when Randy Couture beat James Toney? And I said, and James Toney wasn't washed up? No, James Toney wasn't washed up. He was just past his prime, he said. Okay. Dude, anyone with a brain, James Toney had nowhere near. I'm not saying he would have won anyway, by the way. I'm just saying the dude was not anywhere near his prime and didn't belong boxing anymore or fighting in any way, shape, or form. But let me get back to this. What do you mean Tim Silva was washed up? Then what the fuck was Ray Mercer? If Tim Silva was washed, I mean, God, what was Ray Mercer, bro? If Tim Silva was the one that was washed up, Ray Mercer, Tim Silva was fat. As if Ray Mercer had a six-pack or something. Ray Mercer was way out of shape. Sporting love handles and everything. What are you talking about? But I was just saying that to make a point. You know what I mean? If an old, washed-up Ray Mercer knocked out Tim Silva, a prime Ray Mercer, shit. Like, I'm just telling you right now, would have hurt, especially in a boxing ring. He would have killed Tim Silva. And that's not an exaggeration, and that's not hyperbole. He could have possibly killed him. What's my point? My point is, all right, stop being a little too friendly with these MMA fans that don't love your sport, that want to watch boxing die. They don't have good intent. It's malice. They don't love the sport that we love. They want to be the king of combat sports. They want to take over. That's why they talk about boxing the way they talk about. It's okay to be a fan of both sports, but keep the same energy and same type of criticisms with both sports. Stop talking about, oh, look, MMA giving me what I want. What are you talking about? You're about to get a trilogy with Wilder and Fury. You're getting it. It's here. It's happening. No, the sport's not perfect. But it's nowhere near night and day, as you guys make it seem. It's not. So B-Man to salute and cook on his sub, absolutely. I appreciate the support. Stormy B-Man, subscribe to his channel. 44 people on here. There's some of you that aren't subscribed to Stormy B. Go subscribe. Check it out. And I'm just keeping it real because a lot of you guys, it's like you advocate more for MMA than you do for boxing, right? You're over here talking about things that, in all honesty, like, look, I'm not trying to generalize or anything like that. Like, I'm really not, but there is some people that maybe it's not that they hate boxing, but they really want MMA to be it, and they want boxing gone, right? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just being honest. So when you guys are going around making videos about how, man, these MMA fighters are getting ripped off. Man, I want these fighters to get paid. I don't give a fuck. But how can you say that? I don't give a shit. I don't care that these MMA fighters are getting ripped off by Dana White. I don't care, right? And you want to make money, come to boxing. How about that? Right? If you want to be an independent contractor, protected by the Ali Act, and get your, have rights as a fighter, then boxing's where it's at, because boxing's king. This is the sport of kings. Boxing is. A lot of these are the same motherfuckers that come out like, we say, oh, we're the sweet science, and then they come out and they're like, no, we're the sweet science. You're not the sweet science. There's more things in MMA. Boxing's like checkers. MMA's like chess. Fuck you. How about that? It's not even what it means, by the way. That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard. First of all, I could tell you don't play chess when you say that, by the way. All right? But boxing just fists, so it's just like checkers because you just move one beat. You guys are a bunch of fucking blithering idiots. And MMA, the rook is a kick, and the takedown is the queen, and the like, get the fuck out of here. The punches are the pawns, and and the knight, the knight is the heel kicks, and like, you fucking stupid fucking morons. It's about strategy, you fucking stupid morons. It's about creating openings and being 2-3 steps ahead of your opponent. That's what they mean when they say boxing's like chess. All right? You guys talking elementary shit. You think you know chess because you know how to move the pieces. You fucking blithering idiots. All right? God damn. I've heard MMA fans say, we're the sweetest science. What the can't even come up with your own shit, by the way. They can't even come up with their own fucking traditions, too. Right? Ring walks and having nicknames and all that. That's boxing, bro. That's boxing lore and shit. They're over here, calling, stealing our nicknames and shit. and then they don't even use it right. Everybody knew Sugar Rashad Evans didn't even rhyme and shit. It didn't even sound right. Okay? Sugar Rashad Evans. Wait, what? It doesn't even sound right. The Iceman, Chocolate Deli. These dudes think that they make this shit up, bro. Okay? Gloves and rounds and the 10-point muscle. They can't come up with their own fucking shit. Okay? God damn. Like the scale. Like, god damn, dude. Yeah, I'm talking shit. Because boxing is king and will always be king. All right? And yeah, I got tired of the George Foremans and the Tysons on UFC.com talking about UFC is the new king. Like, of course I got tired of seeing that shit. Plus, I'm still convinced they fucking paid Tyson to do all that shit, okay? Tyson was broke, and oh, what a coincidence. He'll be invited to UFC events, and he's doing, interviews talking about how when he was younger, he would have gone to UFC instead of boxing. Talking about boxing that way. A sport that saved this dude's life and shit. Okay? They're fucking shitting me. Anyway, check it out. Boxing is king, and fights like this, is what makes it king. I'm looking forward to this trilogy. Either Tyson Fury will prove, hey, I'm the better man. That's it. If he wins the third fight, I mean, that's pretty much it, guys. If Wilder wins, dude, that's like, you have no idea for how many decades, centuries, like they'll be talking about that trilogy. They'll be talking about it for decades to come. If they don't make a movie about it, I don't even know what to say. If Deontay Wilder wins this trilogy, it's going to be up there, one of the biggest comebacks of all time. I am telling you right now. Digital gold, boxing is king, absolutely. But you guys want to get cozy up with people that want to watch your sport die. You want to go over there and give advice to fighters over there on how to make money and shit and stuff like that. Oh, I want to see these MMA fighters get paid, bro. Like, why the fuck you guys care about all that? You don't even care about it when it comes to the boxers and shit. When it comes to boxers, you guys just, criticize the fight. Oh, they don't deserve that money. Notice, I said the Zone hasn't made money off of Canelo. I never said Canelo doesn't deserve the money. Get your fucking money, right? I'm not mad at Golovkin for getting his bread. Take the Zone's money, shit. It ain't my fault. Golovkin, got paid by the Zone more money than most MMA fighters will make in their whole fucking career. It ain't my fault. I could point out that the Zone maybe spent too much, but I ain't mad at it. But you guys get mad at these boxers when they make money, right? But like boxing fans get more upset about the money MMA fighters make, okay, than MMA fans do, than the media does. Like boxing fans are the ones, oh man, I feel bad, bro. That guy only made $250,000 in an event that did 500,000 buys, bro. Like, why the fuck do you care? Why do you care? You know what these fans say about your sport? They say that it's dying and that MMA is going to take over and that MMA is where it's at and boxing, the inmates took over the asylum and all this shit. That's what they say about your sport. Fuck them. I don't give a shit if Dana White's ripping them off. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit. Okay? I just don't. Oh, but these MMA fans, what they got to do, bro, is start a union. I don't want them to start unions. I don't want them to be in the Ali Act. That's our shit, right? You know what these do? Like, have you guys seen a lot of these? Not all of them. There's some of them that are genuine boxing fans, and credit to them, right? But a lot of these MMA fighters, bro, like every other boxing fight, oh man, how can anybody watch this? This shit's boring. MMA is where it's at. Like shit like that. And you're worried about what the dude's making? I've stopped caring and advocating for MMA years ago. Years ago, I stopped. Right? Ariel Helwani can't go to a boxing press conference without asking boxers about MMA and shit. Shit's annoying. You have Teddy Atlas, fucking sellout, right? You have Teddy Atlas over there, on his little podcast, holding boxers to this ridiculous standard. Okay, it's insane. Tyson is really 0-5. Like what the fuck are you talking about? He's really 0-5. Actually, nah, he's not really 0-5 or 6, whatever it is. Tyson never really won a fight. Like what the fuck? What? Shit's stupid. Like, what are you talking about? Wilder loses the fight. I told you, he doesn't know how to fight. He just doesn't know how to fight. And he lost one time, guys. The dude's lost one fight. And he says that fighters don't know how to fight. And, it's shit's insane, dude. He holds boxers to this ridiculous standard, but Conor McGregor gets he beats Cowboy Cerrone after getting his ass whooped, by the way. But he beats Cowboy Cerrone and Teddy Atlas. This is what a lot of you guys, I just want to open your guys' eyes, man. A lot of you crossover fans on what you guys do. A lot of, maybe not to this scale, but to a certain degree, you guys do it. Okay? Like he starts talking, and I know why you do it. You do it because you don't want to, come off as some MMA hater. That's why you guys do it. Okay? And you feel more comfortable criticizing boxers because it's your sport. And with MMA, you don't want them to be like, oh, you're just hating because MMA is doing well. And so you don't have that same energy. But Teddy Atlas said that he compared, after he beat Cowboy Cerrone, who was 0-3, by the way, the last 3 fights, had just got knocked out. Teddy Atlas compared this dude, man. Dude. Teddy Atlas compared him to Ali, Jordan, Tom Brady, who else? Kobe Bryant. He compared them to guys who are some of the greatest in their profession. Ali was the greatest heavyweight when boxing was a mainstream sport. There's no comparison. Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time. And if you're a basketball fan and you say, no, he's not, you got him in your top 3, right? It's not like I'm way off. I'm not off. You know what I mean? Well, he said Larry Bird too. Like that's ridiculous, dude. That's ridiculous. He was saying that he was comparing Jorge Masvidal to a boxing legend, to Jersey Joe Walcott. If you guys haven't watched film on Jersey Joe Walcott, the dude moved like Grace. Should have gotten the decision. Okay? He should have gotten the decision against Joe Louis the first fight. He was beating Joe in the second fight. Then he got caught. It is what it is. But eventually became world champion. He was old when Marciano knocked him out. But if you watch this guy, man, this guy was ahead of his time, dude. He was an innovator. And the dude's a legend. Masvidal ain't shit in this sport. All right, I'm sorry. He starts comparing this dude to Jersey Joe Walcott. Oh, man, you know you remind me of? In all my years, I feel like I found a guy that reminds me of Jersey Joe Walcott. Like, are you kidding me? This is what boxing fans do. Shit like this. Man, that guy reminds me of Ali. And like it's just, like, stop it. All right? Holy shit. God damn, dude. Following fighters with 12 losses, and I get it that in MMA, you know, you could lose 20 times and people still love you. I get it. Good for you. You know what I mean? But then, like, comparing them to, like, all-time greats. Stormy B, man, looking at his Scarface looks like he's 0-1 his stem cell. Oh, man. At the end of the day, the people on that side want your fucking sport to die. Well, what is it that you guys don't understand about that? Batista, what does it have to do with? It has everything to do with it. Because for years, you guys have been saying, man, if only these guys just get in there and fight. What's up to you as a boxing fan, okay, to say, you know what? If a guy loses, it ain't over. A guy can go back to the drawing board. A guy can come back and avenge his loss. He could do it. And if he doesn't, hey, sometimes there's that one guy you can't beat. Marco Antonio Barrera couldn't beat Junior Jones. He couldn't do it. He tried. He couldn't do it. Morales did it. And then he came and he beat Morales. Shit happens. Maybe Wilder won't be able to beat Fury. I don't know. Let's do it. But you're going to keep that energy. Okay, if you're going to be saying things like all these years, we just want the best to fight the best. If you lose, hey, you lose, whatever. Look, in MMA, you know, they lose and they go back. Hey, look, Conor McGregor still loved after he loses. And you know what I mean? Conor McGregor got, you know, submitted like twice already. He got dominated by, you know, Habib. And he look at Conor in the first fight with Nate Diaz. It's a perfect example. He got stunned. He looked too small. Okay, dude, you know, got choked out by Diaz. He hit him with everything he had. Couldn't take him out. Came back and he won the rematch. Oh, see? In boxing, you got to stop protecting the O. Just go for it. Just make these fights happen. Well, that's what this fight is. Deontay Wilder has exercised his rematch clause. Deontay Wilder was defeated in the rematch, and he wants to avenge that loss. If you can't respect that, then I don't know what to tell you. Especially if all these years you've been talking about how, man, you got to go in there and just do what you got to do. And like at the end of the day, you guys are right. We got to stop protecting the O's, and these guys just start fighting each other, get in that ring, and let's get it on. That's what this fight is representing. All right? I mean, let's be honest. What had a bigger year? Heavyweight fights in UFC or heavyweight fights in boxing? It's a no contest. I know nobody was talking about Stipe versus Cormier. Nobody was talking about that fight. When Ruiz beat Joshua, that shit was everywhere. Right? This fight was everywhere. This is where it's at. It's kicking UFC's ass right now. Period. Period. Now, if anybody wants a link, I can shoot a link or something if anybody wants to come on, because I've already given my piece. You know what I mean? So if anybody comes on, you could come on, give me your thoughts, right? Let you know what's going on. And by the way, all those people saying, no, don't do it. No. Fight Joshua. Joshua's fighting Pulev. They're about to finalize the fight, guys. You really believe Eddie Hearn? Oh, we could do the fight right now. Well, we have up, undisputed is what matters. But like they're negotiating the fight with Pulev, bro. Bob Arum came out on Beef's interview and said this shit's about finished. They're just ironing little details. Just saying. Just saying. There's a link. If anybody wants to come on, if not, I'll wrap this one up. Shit. I want to thank everybody that came on. Let me see how many likes I got. Oh, that can't be right. Is that right? Hold on. 18? Hold on. Let me check again. Let me refresh the page. 52. Okay, there we go. It showed 18 likes. So what's going on over here? You guys giving me 18 likes. You know what I mean? Cali Enigma. You're on live, bro. Talk to me.
What's happening, man? Oh, man, it's something that I agree with 100%, man. MMA fans, well, a lot of MMA fans and MAGA fans are MAGA guys, what I've learned dealing with Twitter and stuff. So that doesn't surprise me. Yeah, they definitely
let me ask you this.
Go for it.
What do you think of the cross? Because I see it a lot, bro. A lot of fans that like both sports, they just have a different energy when they talk about boxing than MMA. Like, I just notice it a lot.
Well, I mean, let's keep it 100, man. A lot of the issues with when it comes to crossover, man, it's a racial thing for some guys. Now, some of the guys are black, but I mean, sometimes some of the guys are minorities as well. But a lot of guys don't want to really offend the hardcore MMA fans, so they try to blend in. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. Instead of just standing their ground and be like, no, man, this is bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But reality is situation, like I said before, MMA is a sport where a lot of white guys, those are a lot of MAGA guys are fans of the sport. So they do feel a certain type of way, or at least they feel let me say they feel insecure when it comes to boxing, because boxing has been has been around longer. Boxers tend to make more money, especially when they're on the higher end. But you know what I mean? Boxers tend to get more name recognition and things of that nature. So they would like for MMA to catch up boxing. I remember too, man, going back to the 2000s, or mid 2000, I'll say like around 2005, 2006. And I was hearing about how MMA was going to surpass boxing, and boxing to me has retaken its throne. Is actually more dominant than MMA right now. Of course, unless if it's like the zone, but I mean the biggest fights with PBC have been far superior to anything that we've seen with MMA, and have gotten more name recognition, or it's gotten more, has been discussed far more as well. You don't see as many MMA guys, really blowing up and becoming huge stars outside of the sport, whereas the boxers are, because of they're a little bit more their own entity, become bigger stars outside of the sport than they do in MMA. And you could tell that the MMA fans would like to see their fighters get to that same that level, but unfortunately for them, their fighters aren't making as much as Earl Spence or Mikey Garcia or anything like that, except for maybe like a handful of guys. Most of the guys aren't making anywhere near that. Most of the guys aren't even making six figures yet. And and that's because it's the way the sport's structured. I mean, it's all under one company, whereas boxers can kind of, especially if they don't have a promoter, can kind of float back between networks and stuff like that. MMA can't. You're either going to be on the Zone or you're going to be on ESPN, unless you're with some real small MMA company, and you're at that point you're probably making 500 maybe to $1,000 or something like that a fight. It's
Yeah.
just it's not the same thing, man. So I mean, I could completely understand why they want to, but unfortunately, what
They
I've
also
encountered,
like,
what MMA, go for it.
but they also say things that aren't true. Look, Gerald Washington and Martin Navarrete. I mean, those guys made, six figures, bro, a half a million, close to. You know what I mean? And that's what UFC main eventers make. You know what I mean? They're guaranteed anyway.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact. And I mean, Charles Martin, and Joe Washington, these guys, they can make Signy Navarrete and all that. These guys can, these are not even big name dudes, and then they're making far more money than MMA guys.
So what I was getting to is you always hear this false narrative that um, all, only the very top fighters in boxing make, the good money. You know what I mean? Look at the undercard fighters. The UFC undercard fighters make more money. Well, that's not necessarily true. There's and that's very misleading. Boxing has a card around the world every weekend, like several of them. Okay, from Thursday to Sunday, there's a boxing card somewhere in the world every damn week. There's only like one or two UFC events a month. You know what I mean? So it's not the same thing. Like
Yeah,
it's
there's not as many fighters MMA as it is boxers as well. But just boxers. I mean, boxing has a big ass head start too. Let's keep it 100, man. I mean, MMA is going to take years for them to try to catch up. It's going to take them. I mean, they're doing fairly well for still being such a young sport. But it's going to take some time, man. It's not going to happen overnight. What would actually help them if there was more diversity in the sport, though?
I mean,
That's
it's
what kills it.
also look. It's also possible that they could just fade away. You know what I mean?
It is true. Dude. Like, that's what I said. No, it would help them if they had more diversity in the sport, and they really don't. The lack of diversity in the sport of MMA is really kills it. And on top of, like I said, but I mean, the racists in this country probably don't want to see more diversity in the sport, because when there's more diversity, a lot of those minority fighters tend to do fairly well. So they probably don't want to see too much more diversity in the within
I
the
mean, look,
sport.
it's like this, right? Um, you would think that if there was more diversity, then let's say a white fighter does well with all against all that diversity, that you would be more impressed with that white fighter. You know what I mean? Like, man, look at that guy's fighting a well versed, type. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't see why they fear that, or you know what I mean? Like, they shouldn't anyway.
Racism, man. Racism is look, man. What I've learned from racism, a lot of things are based off of fear, man. These guys are so concerned of that. They want to be able to say that they're better than black, they're better than Mexican, that they're better than Puerto Rican and Chinese and all that stuff. They just want to say that they're the superior race on earth. It's just stupid, man. It's not about race at time. It's person to person reality, man. When it comes to sport, there could be some white dude who may be the best, could be some Mexican dude who could be the best, and a black dude or Asian dude. It all depends on the situation. So, I mean, but they don't look at it from that standpoint. It's like for them,
Yeah.
it's always race based, man. And like I said, we know for a fact that we've seen some of the crowds when Donald Trump has showed up at these events. The crowd is full of MAGA guys, man. It's probably
But
like
there was
95%
also that
MAGA guys.
one. There was a crowd that booed him too. I don't know where that was at. It was probably a
I
blue
think it
state.
might have been L.A. It might have been in L.A.
Okay.
Where he got booed.
He did get booed. In fairness, it was one of the UC
Yeah,
crowds.
that was one, but I mean, most of them places, man, you
But
go.
Dana is
yeah.
he does donate to the Trump campaign or the
Yes, he's a MAGA guy. He's definitely a MAGA guy. Dana White, man. But I like what you were talking about earlier too, when you were talking about Kevin Iole, man. And to me, that goes to the point of old media. Old media, they will never say it, but a lot of these guys would prefer to have a white guy on top, even if he's not American, instead of seeing someone who's not white on top. And that's a fact. I mean, we know this for a fact. That's why they try to shit on And then on top of that too, they don't want like Al Heyman. Al Heyman's a black guy, and they would rather it be Eddie Hearn or Bob Arum pretty much dominating the sport instead of Al Heyman. Funny thing is, you would think you would like Al Heyman because Al Heyman pays his fighters the most, um, and he doesn't talk, he doesn't disrespect anybody. He's quiet behind the scenes, but this guy is one of the most hated guys in the sport. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever, man. He doesn't.
Yeah. I still remember those. It's. I remember the Golden Boy emails. The way I forget who it was that was emailing. Um, God damn, I forget the
Yeah,
name of that
he
writer.
was like the editor of a magazine or something like that, right?
Yeah,
The one
yeah.
who did it. That email with Golden Boy Yen and then apologized about it. It doesn't surprise me whatsoever, man. Like I said, the unfortunate part about, especially with this dealing with sports, sports is still racial based. I mean, I don't care what sport it is; it's race based. It's just a lot of animosity. It's a lot of animosity especially towards black fighters or black athletes. I mean, you still look at LeBron James catches a lot of hate, and the guy doesn't get in trouble, never get in trouble outside of the court or anything like that. Has done a lot for people, and it's just as well
Yeah.
as done a lot for with his community. But he's one of the most hated people within the sport of basketball. I mean, it's just
But I do want to
unfortunate.
say this though, Kelly. So
Yeah,
my issue is not so because I don't care about the fan base. I don't
right.
maybe it sounds harsh, but I don't care if MMA dies tomorrow. I just don't.
I
You know what I mean?
know, I know. I be
Uh,
honest with you, I wouldn't lose any sleep either, bro. Be
I
honest with
wouldn't like. I
you.
know maybe some of you love MMA. You want to see more MMA and all that. I get that, guys. But I'm just not. To me, boxing's king, and I don't like some of the language that's used about boxing with MMA fans. I'll be honest. It's not just white. It's a lot of black MMA fans, a lot of Asian
No,
MMA
it
fans,
is.
Hispanic Asian.
It is.
Like,
And a
dude,
lot of those black MMA fans too. And people don't want to. People that don't know this, I'm telling you, a lot of them black MMA fans are also MAGA guys, self-hating guys. Some of the same guys who are who don't like other black people as well, man. I know it's kind of a sick behavior, but it's out there. It exists. There's a lot of black folks who don't like other black people, but some of these guys, yeah, they don't like boxing because they didn't like Floyd Mayweather because they said he was a runner. I've heard this from black dudes who prefer MMA. I've also heard that they didn't like boxing because boxers don't stand and just trade. So you'll get that in MMA. I said,
yeah,
but
yeah,
not all the time.
so what I want to get to is this, right? Because it's not just one thing that always defines everything. Like it's going to be a multitude of things, like a collection of things. But to me, my concern are the crossover fans, right? Like guys that are boxing fans, you know what I mean? That
Right.
also like MMA, which again, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, but you're talking about those guys being harsher on boxing than they are
Yeah,
on
yeah,
MMA. But
that,
that's because they're trying to be fair, man. I mean,
yeah,
it's them. They consider themselves trying to be
but
balanced, but
here,
it's not. You
it's
go
not
ahead.
even. Here's what I want to say. So being objective is one thing, right? But calling things like trying to be fair is sometimes unfair. Like
The facts are the facts.
the facts are the facts, and
Mhm.
and you can't you know constantly praise MMA. Oh, look, see, in MMA the best fight the best, and they don't worry about losses, and because that's what I want to focus on. You know what I mean?
But how about
Like,
this? The best
yeah,
fight the best. If you would just say the best do fight the best in MMA, but they
mm.
don't get paid. So you don't care about that. I think that's kind of fucked up, man. And a lot of these MMA fighters don't
Well,
make
a
any
lot of them
money.
will say that that's not their problem. That I'm just a fan. I'm not counting their money. Like that's the argument they use. But in the end, it is a discussion we have to have because in the end, it is prize fighting. Like it's like we can't ignore the fact that the reason these guys participate in these sports is to get paid. Like it's nice and all when they say I do it for the love of the game and all this that, and the third. But I mean, let's be real. These guys want to get paid. They want to make
Yeah,
money.
I
You know what I
doubt
mean?
that they would be doing it for free, man. I mean, if you just go get
All
another
right.
job, but at some point you need men, you need ends to meet, and the reason why you're doing it, you're getting into the sport. You may like it, you may have fun with doing it because it's always fun to do something for a living that you enjoy to do. You can get paid for doing something that you enjoy to do, but at the end of the day, if something you enjoy to do, if your hobby, if you have a hobby and it doesn't pay, and that
Right.
that your objective of that hobby was to for it to be your number one earner, or it should be the earner for it, or to take care of, or to provide for your family. Is a better way to say it. Then you're gonna end up having to do something else. And we know for a fact that in some MMA fighters, a lot of MMA fighters bag groceries on the side. They also some of them construction workers and things like that. We know some boxers like that too, but we know that there's far more MMA guys who are doing this than there are boxers, and that's a really sad
Yeah.
thing. And of course, and guys who are some guys who have been stars. We've heard stories about MMA fighters. I mean, UFC fighters complaining about Dana Hayes. I mean, not Dana Hayes, but I mean Dana. I forgot his fucking last name, man. I don't know what I'm trying to say. What's his name? Dana.
White.
Yeah,
Dana
Dana
White.
White. I don't know why. I just seen an interview with this dude bragging about Donald Trump this morning on Twitter. But yeah, man, I don't know why I forgot his name. I guess he's irrelevant to me. But yeah, Dana White not paying guys, man, and he didn't pay guys. One of the reasons why he didn't pay guys, which is what I heard, what I read about in the past, was because he wanted to eventually sell for a lot of money, which I know he got $4 billion in exchange for UFC, which he was the original owner for, but he's still able to run UFC
Well,
without being the main owner now.
The
The
Fertitta sold it.
Fortuna family, yeah.
The Fertitta sold it. Um, and then, and Dana's just like he's like a partial owner. I don't know if he sold his share or not though. But yeah, he's still running
No,
it and all that.
also he sold his share. That's how he got $4 billion. But he was brought back on as to run it.
Yeah.
So
Well, his
he was
share
brought
was
in.
at the total sale was $4 billion,
Right,
but I think he had like 10% ownership or
right,
something like that.
right,
But still a lot of money.
right.
But yeah, he's still running it and all that. But man, now like, look. For the longest time, Dana White, these dudes were talking about the sport of boxing dying. Okay, all they did was talk about how boxing is a dying sport. And my only issue is this. Right? They've changed their tune lately, and now they want to act like they've been boxing fans their whole life. No, I love boxing and this that. But I mean, I'm not going to forget their energy like 10 years ago. Like they really did want this sport to like fall apart.
Well, yeah, now Dana White wants some of that boxing money, though. That's the funny part about it. He got a little taste of it in that Floyd Mayweather fight. He want more. That's why he wants to be a promoter now. He's like, whoa, that's a different kind of money over there in boxing.
Yeah.
The MMA boxing is small potatoes, man. That's small change over there at UFC. UFC is small money, man. Boxing is big money. So he's like, I need to get my hand in that bag, and in that pot over there. That pot is bigger. And that pot he just said that pot is bigger, has more ingredients, has a higher quality of food than the pot that the UFC pot has. The UFC pot is limited, only has like four different ingredients, very little spices, and you know what I'm saying. It's and a lower and cheaper quality of food instead of getting the best quality. Whatever it is, and that's basically what he's looking at. He's like, I'm tired of eating this. I'm tired of eating at 2-star restaurants. I want to start eating at the 5-star restaurants, and that's why he's trying to get over there into boxing. He really wants to be a boxing promoter, and I think in his mind he was hoping to try to set it up like MMA. That's never going to happen, man. Boxers can have an opportunity to go in whichever way they want, and they're never going to go join your organization to be limited in how much revenue they can generate when they can be free. So yeah, that's why I don't think that he can. I don't think he could work on this sport. He would have to agree to just be a promoter. In that sense, and not try to set up some type of organization. If he did, it would fail. I know they want to buy PBC, but if he tried to change the model, a lot of people would just leave, as they're already independent contractors as well. So that's a decision he's gonna make. It's not as easy to get into the boxing as he'd like to believe, man. You're gonna have to get in. You got to pay guys because guys ain't gonna stay with you, but they can go somewhere else and get paid.
What do you think of this? Well, first of all, for all the people talking about undisputed guys, like the trilogy's gonna happen. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what you want me to say. Josh was gonna fight Pulev. It's not like Josh was like, yeah, I'm available now. Like, you know what I mean? He's going to fight Pulev. You know what I mean? So you want Wilder and Fury just to wait on Joshua? Like what? What do you guys mean?
Well, so, Joshua was also rumored to be playing Usyk too. So that's just, that's all bullshit. He was never supposed to fight Wilder or Fury this year anyway. It's supposed to be next year.
Yeah, but like I want Undisputed too. We'll get there, but we have some unfinished business. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, that's a fact.
Joshua got his rematch against Ruiz after he got his ass beat. You know what I mean? So like, I'm just saying, like it's all right if we do this. But um, what do you think of this fight, man? This third fight. But what do you think Wilder has to do, to win or give himself a
Um,
better chance of winning?
I would like the Wilder to. I would like Wilder to work on his balance. That's something I would like him to change the stance a little bit so he can actually throw more combinations. And I would like to see that mix up combinations. I would also like to see him stay behind the jab a little more, double and triple up the jab. Because if you go back and look at the fight, when he was doubling, tripling up the jab, it did. So Fury wasn't as Fury didn't really want to punch with Wilder. Then he was just looking to escape and to try to slip shots when Wilder was doubling, tripling up the jab. And I think doubling and tripling up the jab, in my opinion, would actually allow him to set up that right hand. But I want him to parry and slip shots. I want when Fury's being aggressive, I want Wilder to be able to parry and counter, to block and counter, to slip and counter shots. There's openings there. When Fury got super overconfident and was leaving himself wide open, and because of Wilder's stance and because of his balance, he wasn't able to take advantage by countering. There's so many openings there. With Fury's coming forward, um, throwing that hard right hook, and he was throwing that hard left hook. He was throwing the lead left hook several times, and he's throwing these super overcommitting, putting a lot of pressure on the front foot, and he's leaving himself wide open. And it's just there's opportunities for multiple counters, man. The uppercut was there. And that uppercut was there all night. He didn't even attempt to throw that. And I just don't understand. I mean, I saw opportunities. There's so many opportunities for Wilder to beat the shit out of Fury. He just has to watch the tape and break it down. And he needs. I think hopefully he'll bring somebody in or whatever he does with the champ. But I would like him to bring somebody in, and hopefully somebody can help him work on his counter punching. And to me, that's the key, right? The counter punching, especially, you want Fury to be as aggressive as he was in the first fight because there's just so many opportunities to stretch this dude, man. It really is. I mean, I'm pretty sure you've seen it too when Fury would throw that wheel, he would pop that jab, which he was cheating, of course, threw it with his fist, but a whole other subject. But Fury would he would pop that jab and he would follow it with the right hand. He was pretty much at times getting repetitive too. But I got to give Fury credit. He did use a lot of angles. Something that Wilder didn't do. Wilder was squared up right in front of Tyson Fury. I would like to see Wilder use
Let me
angles on
just
Tyson Fury
say this
and
real
not
quick.
be able to
So,
go for it.
all right, guys, chill with the wrenches in my chat, bro. Okay. Look, I don't tell other channels how to do things and stuff like that, right? But it's if someone comes in says something racist, yes, get rid of them. You know what I mean? If someone just giving their opinion, even if you disagree with that opinion, if you don't like that person, that's not a reason to time somebody out. I'm just letting you guys know right now, right? Go ahead, Kelly.
Okay, well, I don't know if it was Hawker Mustang. That dude's a devout racist. Anti-black, anti-brown. Proud of it. I'm shocked that he popped up in here, but that's a whole other subject. But if that's what you were talking about, I don't know if that's what you were talking about or not. But
Yeah,
yeah, that's
a
another
nice
subject.
excuse for saying something that I just don't think he should have been timed out for.
Yeah, yeah, right. But yeah, that's what I want to see him do. I want to see Wilder. I don't want to see Wilder not square up in front of Fury anymore, man. I mean, come on, you can't walk in on a straight line against anybody, in my opinion, not just Tyson Fury. You don't I mean you got to use angles, man. You got to, man. You want to shrink the size of your body, man. You don't want to make it. You don't be squared in front of him, so there's more body to hit. You want to be harder to hit. Also, keep your hands up, man. Wilder dropped his hand. I mean, when he got hit in the back of the head. He got hit in the back of the head. So, I mean, it was like Fury actually, you go back and Fury put him in position there. But Fury that punch probably would have never got there if he would have left his left hand up. He probably would have been deflected, but his hands were down by his waist, so he didn't get the opportunity to do it. He tried to slip it, but he kind of just dipped down and, not really dipped down. He was actually with assistance for Tyson Fury. He used that jab, of course, when he punched him with the fist. To move Wilder's head down to the point where he could punch him directly in the back of the head. But I want to see Wilder keep his hands up. He got caught with some punches when he was dropping his hands around his waist. I would like Wilder. I would like Deontay Wilder to get with Larry Wade for a strength and conditioning coach I want Wilder to definitely concentrate on working on his lower bottom, his lower extremities. He needs to get stronger down there. He needs to really get down there and strengthen. I'm not saying you got to put on muscle mass down there, but he needs to strengthen up his legs. His legs should need to be stronger. So you want to be able to move around the ring longer. So those are some of the things that I want to see Deontay Wilder do. But yeah, definitely, man. That was one of the first things that I discussed. I discussed with my homie Famous. I would like to see him counter and parry shots, man. It's I mean to me slipping counter parry shots on a regular basis, and the opportunities there. If somebody's going to be that aggressive against you, you have the opportunity to get them up out of there. And only last time I seen Wilder counter was against Luis Ortiz actually. So in the first fight, so I would like to see Wilder go back to counterpunch.
And I agree with a lot of what you said. I do think though that I saw some videos online about, oh look how off balance Wilder looked, but a lot of those are after he got hurt. You know what I mean? Like his equilibrium was off. So I don't know,
I
man. Like
thought he looked off balance in the first round a little bit. Not as bad as he did after he got hit in the
right,
back of the
right,
head, but I thought his balance was a little shaky in the first round, which is I don't know
right.
if I think maybe the extra weight. He said said he didn't actually speak to the media member. They just overheard him talking about the weighted vest that he walked in with, but he didn't actually speak do an interview with the media. But that potentially could have played. I believe the champion that played a role, but I would like him though to work on his. I would like him to work on his lower body. Um, you know, Work on it, man. More leg presses and things of that nature, man. Strengthen your lower body, man. He's kind of wiry strong. I don't want him putting on that much weight either, man. That's one thing I said. Okay, maybe he should come in at 215. I don't think it's the end of the world for him to come in at 215. He seems to be
Yeah,
better, more quicker and fluid at that weight. I don't think the 230 was natural for him. I think it was very unnatural for him. He's not that kind of guy that's built. He's built to pack on a lot of weight. He doesn't have that kind of frame. And I think that he should just be himself. You're a smaller, like you're a lighter heavyweight, and it works for you. So take advantage of it. You're gonna be quicker. You're gonna be faster than everybody. You're gonna be more agile than everybody. Use your advantage. The guys are heavier than you. What he needs to be able to do, he needs to be able to turn. He needs to be able to get out of danger. When Fury wants to get you on the ropes, turn him right away. Get off the ropes ASAP. If he cuts off about 15 pounds, he'll have that ability. The agility will help him. He'll be able to pivot out of the way. We'll see. We'll see what happens, man. But I think there's a lot of changes he can make. There's even more than what I just stated, to be honest with
right, right, right. So as far as the I've been hearing a lot of criticisms about the roughhouse tactics that Tyson Fury used. I have to be honest. I think a lot of them are overstated. I'm not saying that he didn't use roughhouse tactics. He did, but a lot of fighters have used roughhouse tactics through boxing history.
you. Shit is smart.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like Lennox Lewis wasn't a squeaky clean fighter. When he fought, he would hold guys behind the head and hit them with uppercuts and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
No, but this is why Wilder should return a favor, man. I mean, it's like to me, it's like it's not time to cry about it. I mean, that's what he did. So you choke me, I choke you. You elbow me, I elbow you back twice. You hit me in the ball, hit you in the ball 5 times. I mean, that's it.
What I want to get to is I don't want it to be crafty when, because people will call it crafty and they use different language when they like it. You know what I mean? And they'll call it cheating when they don't. And I myself anyway, I don't go as far as to say, I see some people in the chat saying Fury cheated in the fight, and I personally wouldn't go that far. He used roughhouse tactics. You know what I mean?
I would say is cheating is the way he altered the glove. I mean, the choking and stuff like that, man. And we see bigger fighters do that all the time. We saw Klitschko do it for years. We've seen, of course, Lennox Lewis do it. We've seen a lot of fighters when they're bigger. So go ahead.
The way it works, both corners, right? You have a right to have a person in that dressing room the entire time. Like they can't tell you to leave. You could be there the whole time until that fighter leaves that ring. I'm sorry, the dressing room. If I'm not saying because I don't know if someone from Fury's team was not there for a certain period of time, then they just have to make sure so there's no controversy. Just make sure someone's there the entire time. Next time for for the third fight, like in that
I
dressing
said the
room.
same thing. And right after the
Yep.
fight, I said, you know what? That's on Wilder's team. His team, they should have stood in there and inspected the gloves and made sure that everything was on the up and up. But it seemed like there was a lot of trust from Wilder on Fury's team. I mean, hell, they cheated. He did it twice. I mean, but you know what? That's on your team. You're supposed to make sure that everything's on the up and up. So hopefully they'll learn this next time and bring somebody else who's experienced at checking stuff like that, like a Nazim
Plus,
Richardson.
there's a way to offset guys that try to hold you. Like the best example I can give you guys is this. So a guy that would never hold was Miguel Cotto, if you remember. Okay, he would never hold. And that's why a lot of people, he never holds. I like him. You know what I mean? I like Cotto too, but um, now, granted, I know that Margarito had the plaster of Paris and all that. Like I get that, but the fact that he wouldn't hold Margarito, he just had a lot of problems with that. Shane Mosley, as you know, Cali, right? He beat the shit out of Margarito, and
Yep.
but he tired him out by holding him. Bam, bam, he landed 2 shots, hold him. You know what I mean? Margarito would just wait for the ref to break it up. Bam, bam, 2 shots, hold him. Mosley would throw an overhand right, and Margarito ducked and hit him in the back of the head. Too bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Mosley uses physical advantages over Margarito.
Exactly.
He was a more physically imposing fighter over
Now,
Margarito.
Mosley tried the same thing against Cotto. Cotto didn't let him. Because even though Cotto doesn't hold, Cotto knows how to fight off the clinches and use them against you. Because, and I think was it you that said, like, there's an opportunity to crack a dude when he's trying to hold you.
Yes. That's when the guy's trying to hold you. The best thing you could do is you could do a little half step back. You can catch him coming in because there's going to be a lot of weight on the front foot. When you're reaching out, you're not going to be in position to be able to slip a shot or to block a shot when you're reaching out, when your arms are reaching out in front of you. So you're obviously where you're trying to grab. That's an opportunity to land a straight right hand right there. I mean, in devastating passion. But that's what he should be working on in the camp because Fury's definitely going to try to use his size again. That's just smart to do it. And on top of that, too, which most people have forgot, Tyson Fury started to get tired. Like around the fourth or fifth round, man. That extra weight didn't actually help him out. If Wilder's equilibrium, if Wilder was tired himself, he might have had an opportunity to stop Fury late. If his equilibrium wasn't thrown off, to be honest with you. So Wilder that's why there's some things that Wilder needs to change. There's an opportunity for him to take advantage. But yeah, I don't believe in complaining about the clinching. There's an opportunity to hurt him. Go ahead.
This fight's intriguing for that reason. His equilibrium was off, and he still couldn't keep him off his feet. You know what I mean? So
I tell you about Fury's power isn't that it's a little bit overrated. On top of that, too, Fury's physical size was more damning in my opinion than Fury's punches. The leaning on Wilder, man, was devastating. I think that did more damage in my opinion. I know, of course, he got hit in the back of the head. That was damaging, but the leaning on Wilder from round one all the way till he got stopped caused a lot of damage. That's why it's important for Wilder to watch Sean Porter. Watch with Sean Porter. We kept turning Earl Spence. Earl Spence get him on the ropes, starts throwing a combination and immediately Sean Porter would just spin Earl around and he would turn it back the other way. Wilder needs to learn how to do that. And if he could do that, he'll save himself a lot of energy. He will save himself a lot of energy by being able to do just that. And there's things, like I said, the host mindset should be working on trying to prevent Fury from leaning him. Fury wants to lean him because Fury's the bigger man. So I mean, and on top of this, remember though too, Sean Porter didn't have the reach advantage against Earl Spence. He had the reach disadvantage for Sean Porter was bigger with Earl Spence than Wilder's was with Tyson Fury. You know what I'm saying? It's just a 2-inch reach advantage, a 2-inch height advantage. So Deontay Wilder, he has to be prepared. This comes from he needs to be training for this stuff when he starts camp. His whole camp needs to be concentrated on that. And on top of that, too, mixing up. You want to be able to throw more than 1 or 2 punches against Fury, man. You want to be able to throw combinations to the body, maybe double up the left hook and finish upstairs. You know what I mean? That's Fury
Like
got hurt in
one
the first
thing,
fight to the body
like
with a left hook.
yeah, like he needs to just be prepared for anything. Because look, maybe in the third fight we're expecting Fury to do the same thing, and then he'll do what he did in the first fight. You know what I mean? So Wilder has to be prepared for anything. If Fury's
Yes,
gonna box me, if Fury's gonna come at me, if he's gonna try and maul me, if he's like whatever it is, he's got to be ready for that,
if
right?
I'm Fury, I try to counterpunch more in this next fight himself because I
Like
would try to hold. I
there
would try
is
to
a
lure
way.
Wilder.
There is a way to offset these things,
Yep.
and sometimes you could use it against fighters. When Ricky had to try to maul Pacquiao, by the way. So
Yes,
that's
he
how
did. He got caught coming in.
Yeah, that's how Ricky Hatton fought. He would go hold. A lot of Kasasu fans were like, he cheated. He was holding the whole fight. He was roughhousing Kasasu. He never let Kasasu get off. He had his head on his forehead. But hey, guess what? Like, Pacquiao was like, you're going to try that? Okay, well, here's this. You know what I mean? While you're trying to hold me, bam. He was
Yep.
he was getting with hooks, and then he knocked him out early, bro.
Yep. Caught him coming in. But that's the point. That's the opportunity right there. It's always been an opportunity.
Yeah.
It's always an opportunity when you're someone like Deontay Wilder, especially got that kind of power that Wilder has, and you got a guy that wants to lean on you. And if Wilder had the ability to counterpunch, if Wilder would have been working on it in camp, thinking about it, because I mean, it just to me it was obvious that Fury needed to do that, close the distance. But I mean, I wasn't certain that he was going to do it, but I was told he was going to do it. But then I heard Andy Lee's. I don't know if you guys watched Andy Lee's interview. And
Mhm.
Andy Lee stated it. That was the plan. The plan was to close the distance and to make sure that Tyson Fury had more balance. He said his balances had been off, so instead by having better balance, he would be able to punch through the target and hit with a little bit more force. Which Fury hit with a little bit more force. He's still not a big puncher, but I mean, you get hit by a guy who's 390 pounds, 300 pounds, over and over again. That shit's
I
gonna
do
hurt.
want
I
to
don't give
talk
a fuck
about
who it is.
I do want to talk about the hypocrite of the century, though. A lot of people are not mentioning this at all, bro. But like, I remember what this dude said. This fighter said a while back. I said, you know what? I'm not gonna say anything until he contradicts the shit out of himself. And his name is Carl Froch. Okay, Carl Froch. When he kept telling everybody he doesn't respect Ward because Ward's roughhouse tactics and holding, and he called it cheating and all that. Okay, but then he tweets out, "What a masterclass performance by Fury! He's never seen anything like it. That was amazing." He said. You have any thoughts on that, Kelly?
Amazing, right? Kind of cries about it. But hold on. Remember though when Andre Ward said he would rematch
And
him,
that's why
and
I
if,
just want people to be consistent, bro. Because when I call out a hypocrite, I call him out. And Carl
yeah,
Froch is a hypocrite.
remember though when so Andre Ward wanted to rematch Crotch, and Crotch said no because he couldn't beat him. He couldn't
Yeah.
see a way to beat him. I was like, well, why are you talking shit then? If you don't think you can beat Andre Ward,
I can beat
then
him
you should stop
because
hating.
he hits me, in the liver, and he was holding me and hitting me while he holding me, and he hitting me with his head and all that MMA stuff. This is boxing. It's not wrestling. Like, just like, what a crybaby, bro.
Yeah,
And I
what all that aggressive shit he did against Jermaine Taylor though, man. I mean, like we didn't see that shit when
well,
putting his
like
head
I
up on
said,
his
like,
face and
people are
shit.
okay with it when it's their dude. You know what I mean? In Carl Frantz's case, he likes Fury. You know what I mean? And by the way, I'm not even saying there's something wrong with that, like liking Fury. But you can't call Ward a cheater for his roughhouse tactics. You know what I mean? But then praise Fury to the moon. And I gotta be. I want everybody to be consistent about this shit across the board, bro.
Yeah, I mean, holding the grabbing was a smart tactic for Tyson Fury. But the funny thing is though, I did live stream the week of the fight, before the fight even occurred, and I was telling people, I said, well, Deontay Wilder has to take a little half step back and fire the right hand when Fury's trying to reach Wilder, and I stated this throughout the week before the fight happened, and he never took advantage of that. I said that's an opportunity, man, for an easy knockout, man. He's almost like an opportunity to cheat. To catch a dude coming in like that, man, he's not going to see it coming, or he's going to walk right into that shit. It could be be honest with you, it's an opportunity for a brutal knockout if Wilder can get it off quickly. But you got to hide that shit though, man. You can't telegraph that right hand though when he's trying to reach though. You got to let that go. You got to let it go quickly too. You got to commit to it and punch through the target. But you got to be able to hide that shit though. that can come through like setting up a feigning or something like that. But to be honest, a little half step back, but you can't like I said, you can't tip off the pack. You're going to hit this dude with the right hand though. You can't tip it off. You got to be able to set it off and then let it go.
Yep.
Let that bitch go. You got to hide it and let it go. If you do it, the fight gonna be over, man. It's not gonna be.
Yeah, he's like, I can't respect no one that fights with those tactics, but he just praised Fury to the moon. You know what I mean? And I, the sad part, I knew it. Like I went to his Twitter and I already knew it. You know, I knew what he was going to do.
Well, everybody forget Bernard Hopkins fought a lot like that too. He would be a rough house like that. But to me, it's a smart tactic.
It, bro. Hopkins had no shame. How could the ref don't see it? Like, I could do it.
Punch in the hip, elbow you, and he threw a lot of right hooks where he would finish with the elbow. But he always shielded. He always shaded. He always put his back in front of the ref so the ref couldn't see it. So, but he did. I don't go back and watch his fights. A lot of you guys don't know it, but he did. He would throw a right hook and finish with the elbow right across the nose.
Look, Bradley and Holyfield, they knew what the fuck they were doing, bro. With their fucking head, they knew what they were doing. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Like I'm coming with my head. If you don't move out of the way, hey.
And launch right into you with his head first. I mean, jump towards you with his head.
I'm not condoning the ear bite. I'm not. Okay. But I see where he's coming from. Like I understood. Like, you know what I mean? His frustration. You know, with Holyfield's head, bro.
Well, once again, he's going to launch in like that. That's an opportunity again. If a guy's launching into his head, he's usually putting it, looking at the ground. So he's going to launch it with his head. If you watch him before he launches it with his head, he drops his head. So he's not looking at you. It's an opportunity for uppercut.
Like Jesse Vargas found that out like way too late in the fight with Bradley. You know, he caught him coming in, dropped him, but then the fight was basically over after that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So Pacquiao kind of figured that out by the middle of the second fight with Bradley. Riddick Bowe kind of. Well, I guess Riddick Bowe is a little too tall probably for Holyfield, but still, he dealt with whatever. You know what I mean? So.
I mean, you deal with what you got to deal with. You deal with what you deal with. A lot of the best fighters, they found different ways to get by, man. And sometimes when we get older, you need to use little tactics that'll help you get by.
I hope what people understand too is refs, like not every ref is the same in terms of
they differ.
Level. So and they do talk to for those that don't. I don't think they do this anymore, bro. But HBO, one good thing they used to do is they would show when the ref was talking to the fighters. You could hear.
Are you talking about giving instructions in the locker room? Yeah. He said you can't do this. Yeah.
I think I could be wrong. I don't. I think it's Weeks or Smoke. I forget who literally tells the fighters, like, if you could hold one arm, I'll let you use your free hand to punch.
Right.
You know what I mean? If until I say break. You know what I mean? And he tells both fighters this, and they're always nodding their heads. You know.
I mean, you also see refs that'll say no roughhouse tactics. They'll state that in the locker room. Any roughhouse tactics, I'm taking the point. And it kind of after all of a sudden you end up getting a clean fight. So it all depends, man. It depends on official by official. Everybody has their own opinion about the way they want to officiate a fight. Sometimes it is good to see a clean fight, but sometimes I want to see guys because we get a chance to see their mettle, and we found out that Wilder's an absolute dog in that fight with Fury, man. So we know for a fact that he has the kind of heart that it takes to overcome things. We found out a little bit against Ortiz, but we really found out against Fury. So I wouldn't doubt. You don't want to doubt Wilder in the rematch. What?
I'll tell you what, Mr. Boxing Today too said it. But let me phrase it in my way. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but what I'll say is, when someone's, whether it's a headlock or pushing your head down, dude, you can literally hit them low, okay? And most refs will actually be like, well, you're pushing your
head down.
Yeah, because you could literally, and it's a very believable excuse. Like, well, I was going for the body and he pushed me down.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So maybe not the nuts, but borderline. Belt line shots.
Groin shot.
Yeah.
Hip shot. And hip shots hurt like a motherfucker too. That's why I
hit
told
hit
Wilder,
him in the fucking hip and just and be like, hey, and then when the ref warns you, like, hey, then that's when you tell him, well, you push my head down.
hey, you know what though? That's what Wilder should go to throw a right hook and let Fury sit there and Fury pushes his head down. Wilder land a hip shot, and then Fury sitting there
Yep.
limping. All of a sudden, change the whole thing, change the whole dynamics of the fight. So to me, I mean, if I'm Wilder, man, anything goes. I mean,
Yep.
this next fight, I'm not looking to be fair. It's an eye for an eye. You elbow me because Fury elbowed Wilder multiple times in the fight.
Did you
You
get to watch
elbow
Game
me.
of Thrones, Kelly, or no?
Say it again.
Did you watch Game of Thrones?
I watched like the first two episodes. I just couldn't get into it. That was around. I think that was
Okay,
around the time I was
so
trying to
there
get
was like for those of you in the chat, okay, there was an episode where there was a trial by combat, okay, and the imp, okay, God, I forgot his name. He got his champion, right? And the person, accusing him of the crime got her knight or whatever, right? So they got in this battle to the death. Okay. The guy who won basically cheated, right? Like he was, or not cheated, but he didn't fight quote unquote honorably. And the so anyway, the guy that used roughhouse tactics and didn't play by the quote unquote rules, wasn't honorable, ended up killing the knight. The knight dies or whatever. They throw him through this pit where he falls all the way to his death, right? And the queen says, "You didn't fight honorably. You didn't fight with honor." And the guy says, "No." Then he points down at the guy that's dead and he says, "He did." And he walked away, right? So you could, like, if you want to be Mr. Nice Guy, I'm going to play 100% by the rules. And while this guy's roughhousing me, then that's on you, right?
Yep, you deserve to lose, man. At the end of the day, Fury went in there like I'm gonna win by any means necessary, and that's to me. At the end of the day, doesn't matter how you win as long as you win. At the end of the day, no matter Fury hit him in the back of the head, all other stuff. At the end of the day, when you go to Box Rec, it says Wilder would have lost and Fury's undefeated. So at
Yeah.
the end of the day, Wilder has to look at it that and understand, yeah, well, this is war, and in war, anything goes, and I'm gonna do whatever it takes to win. And if you don't like it, so be it. So I'm looking here. If I'll headbutt Fury, I would do whatever it takes. I don't care. I'm not in this to be nice. I'm not in this. I mean, if the referee don't see it, I'll throw an elbow to the side of Fury's head. I mean, I don't give a shit. Whatever it takes. I'm here to be mean. You got this. That's a point. There comes a point where you gotta be rude. You gotta be cruel. And that's what I like about, you see fighters like Madonna. Marcus Madonna put a form right underneath your neck. He didn't give a
But I
shit.
want to make sure, though, it's like, I mean, yes. I mean, this would throw a knee at Floyd, bro. That shit, I couldn't believe what I was seeing, but it's what he had to do, but I mean, Floyd isn't like a squeaky clean guy himself. Like I saw him use
No,
elbows and Pac.
no, he actually uses his form to ward you off. He does a lot of shit that really aren't legal. But that's the point. Though. If you look at the best fighters, they've all done something. No one's ever fought clean. Any especially any top fighter. Most top fighters do something. They've learned veteran what we call veteran tactics, right?
Mm-hmm.
Veteran tactics. That's how you do it. That's a lot of times that may separate you when you're fighting at an elite level from the next level, set of guys, or maybe another elite guy. You're willing to do whatever it takes to win. So, and you see guys stepping on guys' feet and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You'll see a guy step on. That's to me, that's smart. I see guys who don't have as good as footwork as another fighter, and they'll just keep stepping on other fighters' lead foot. He'll just keep stepping on it over and over and over again. He'll do it all again. You know why? So he can land shots. It's harder to slip shots when you're standing on the guy's foot, or usually guys using movement, lateral movement. If you keep stepping on his foot, he can't use lateral movement, right? It's smart. It's smart as hell, man. And you see it a lot. You see it a lot from guys who are a lot of flat-footed guys or flat-foot. This is something that Salido did a good job against Lomachenko.
Look, Ward did roughhouse tactics. Bernard Hopkins did. You know what I mean? Maidana, did it more as he is career progress. You know what I mean?
Well, that's smart though, man. I mean, say what you want to say, but he got the job done. That's the priority. Most people when they watch these fights aren't gonna think, "Oh my God, Madonna was putting the guy in a headlock. He DDT'd the guy. You know he you know what I'm saying. He power bomb dude, and you know what I mean. He fucking headbutted the guy. Nobody's gonna think about any of that shit. They're gonna remember that Madonna beat the dude's ass. That's what they're gonna remember. When we go like 20, 30 years from now, when they think about Madonna fights, they're gonna be like, "Oh my God, Madonna was just such a nasty fighter." They're gonna be like, Madonna was a pretty damn good fighter, man. He did whatever said he won fights. You know what I mean? He got it done. He had a lot of heart, a lot of grit, a lot of determination. And to me, Dirty Taxes is the sign of grit. Being able to bite down and do what you need to do in order to get the victory, man.
Fury looked like a, you know, kind of reminded me of Lennox Lewis a little there, bro.
Yeah.
You know?
Smart, man. Smart, man. I mean, it sucks because it's a fighter that I like, but what he did was smart. I mean, I had to give him credit after the fight for what he did. You know what I'm saying? My problem isn't really that what Fury did cheat. I mean, but I did also blame his Waters team for that shit with the left glove. And I've stated that too. But you got to give Fury credit. Fury did what he had to do. I mean, if you can continue to get away with punching through his fucking through the wrist of the glove, why not? I mean, if they're not going to check, if the referee's not going to check, then why not keep cheating? And you know the old saying, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's fucked up. It is fucked in the cold as hell.
Like, I mean, we don't want these fights to turn to an all-out MMA fight all of a sudden. You know what I mean?
Right.
But that's why a ref is there. Like, I think people need to understand that the whole point of the ref is to break it up, and get it back, to boxing, to a fist fight, because at some point, two dudes coming at each other are going to collide. And they're fighting for position. Like they're not gonna you can't just wait for the damn ref to do something for you. So you're fighting for position, and in boxing, the art of the clinch is almost a lost art where a lot of fans talk about it as cheating, but in reality, there's always been like clinching in boxing. It's like I don't know, like I would have to do a whole video on that.
No, but it's also used to stymie the momentum of a fighter. It's also used to frustrate a fighter, to get him off his game. And then frustration sometimes can get you to change your whole game plan. Now you want to hurt a guy. The guy just grabbing you every single time, and you see a guy complaining on a regular basis, and meanwhile you're racking up points. But every time this guy tries to work on the inside, you tie him up. Yeah. And it's with no it's. As much of this as Joshua had to smart, as much as Joshua, hypocrite talking about, I would never run and all the other bullshit, right? That's what people got on Joshua for. Whenever, but it was a smart game plan. That was the right decision to beat Andy Ruiz at the time. I still think if Andy Ruiz was in shape, he could have potentially beat him. Also,
I just want to say that I think Kenny Bayless is a good ref, right?
Yeah, he wasn't that bad. He took point from Tyson Fury, man.
Yeah, he did. And then I also like the way he just. Do you notice how get up, 8, okay, walk to me, rub the glove, and that's it. Okay? Like, no walk this way, that way, walk the line, do a backflip for me.
No, he's like, get back to fighting, come on.
Yeah, that's so I think Kenny Bayless did a good job. I mean, I just have to kind of address that. I think Kenny Bayless did a good job, personally.
Yeah, I mean, most people are going to be looking. Everybody's like, with a referee, how many referees are just looking for somebody to punch through their wrist? And I mean, you're looking at just paying attention to the punches, or something like that. We're trying to make sure that there's no headbutting or, normal things, elbowing, you know what I mean, biting. You're not looking like, oh my God, is somebody going to be punching through their fist? That's, like I said, that's up to to Wilder's team to inspect Fury and his team. You got to go and inspect them. So you need to make sure you stay in the ring. You're going to stay in the locker room and make sure that they put the gloves on right.
Like, how many times did the headlock happen, would you say?
Oh, man. I've lost count. They started in the first round, man. Man, I would probably at least say maybe 6, 7, 8 times. Something like that. I got to go back and look, and I have to go back and count. I really don't want to watch the fight, but I can go back and count. But it was smart, though. I mean,
I
I mean,
just think that there's an easy solution to that. Just don't duck your head that low. Like,
yep,
you know what I mean? Like, and that's what I'm trying to make like people understand. Like, if you duck low when a punch is coming at you and it lands in the back of your head, that's where it's
right,
gonna land, dude.
right,
Like, let me tell you what no fighter will ever do. Well, I'm gonna throw this overhand right, and you turn your head or duck low. Oh, I'm gonna stop throwing it now because I don't want to hit you in the back of the head.
right.
That's no fighter's gonna do that, dude. Like
No.
they're gonna finish that punch and it's gonna land where it lands.
Mhm.
You know,
Hey, when Fury's looking at, okay, this guy's in a compromised position. I got an opportunity to do massive damage. Maybe he meant to throw in the back of the head. Maybe he didn't. I wouldn't doubt me if Fury meant to throw in the back of the hand. I mean, he did other
it
shit, but
can easily be
yeah,
designed
yeah,
to
right,
here's what trainers do. They look at footage of fighters and they notice what do they do defensively when you throw a right hand. What do they do? Like what are
mhm.
their movements? Do they turn this way? Do they you know what I mean? So you could design a punch to travel a certain way, and if they react to a right hand coming a certain way, it's gonna end up landing in the back of the head.
That's a
I
fact.
mean, that's what Evander Holyfield did. Like you know what I mean? Like I'm gonna throw a punch this way. It's a legal punch. I'm not doing anything illegal, but my head is coming, so you better move the hell out of the way.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, to me, the best thing Wilder could have did there is not dip his head. But I mean, part of it, and then when he dipped his head, Fury did follow it with a jab and kind of moved his head away. But if Wilder would have stood straight up, or I mean, maybe could have slipped a shot without too much exaggeration, but left his left hand up. He probably wouldn't have got hurt that badly. That probably wouldn't have. He probably wouldn't have got hurt at all. Probably just would have been blocked, and then he just would have been to live another day. Which is what I said that Wilder should have kept his left hand up in that situation, and he didn't even have to dip down
Right.
to make him miss that fight. I mean, make him miss that shot. You just move your head a little, slightly. You could just move your head slightly to the right to slip that punch. You didn't even got it. And what I don't like about Wilder too is he pulls back too much, way too much. That's not good. It's very dangerous.
Yeah, I
What?
know. It's just one of those things where I mean he knocked out virtually everyone he fought. Like,
Right.
so, um, so what he's been doing was working. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, it was
But
working, but even when he was pulling straight back though, Fury was still he
uh,
only landed a couple. He was still out of range because of Wilder. Because even though Wilder is shorter, a little bit shorter than Fury, it's still hard to hit a guy who's that tall when
yeah,
he pulls back out of range.
right,
Fury and Wilder are a few of the guys that can get away with it because they're so fucking tall. But
right.
it's still not good to be doing that. And eventually, you may get caught doing some shit like that. So, and plus, I mean, it still takes a lot of energy to lean back that much. I think Wilder can just slip to the right just a little bit. It doesn't take a lot to slip a punch. You don't have to do a lot of exaggerated movement to slip a punch, and that's an adjustment that I would like to see him make. And then he won't waste as much energy either. You won't waste as much energy. He can
Right.
do a lot of things where he can preserve energy. These are things that veterans usually pick up. But, I think Wilder will figure it out. I mean, to me personally, if Wilder becomes a counterpuncher, he could force Fury back into getting on his toes and want to stay on the outside. Because Fury is worried about, if he has to come into the range of fire, and knowing that there's something going to be returned every time he comes in, he's going to want to stay on the outside and box. That will give Wilder opportunity to follow up the jab and with the straight right hand. So that's
Yeah.
why I would like to see Wilder to make him pay, invite him in, make him change his game plan. If he does that, he will change his game plan. Of Fury worrying about every time I fucking commit to a shot, he counters me. So now I'm gonna have to get away from fully committing to shots. I'm gonna have to go back to pitter
Yeah.
patter shots again like that, where nothing's gonna hurt too badly, and try to stay on the outside. You get into ways and force Fury to adjust too. And I think when Fury gets back on the outside like that, it's advantage Wilder. Wilder can start to come forward and have an opportunity to jab to the torso and try to work the body and eventually slow Fury down to stop him late. That's the game
Yeah.
plan, in my opinion.
I do want to say that as far as the whole narrative about boxing being, I'm sorry, boxing, Wilder being the bully and the bully getting bullied. Like, here's what I'll say: Is Wilder a bully like in life? No, he doesn't go around bullying people and stuff like that. Um, but I cannot speak for everybody. Obviously, just like Mr. Boxing today said, some people called him a coward, and then they were calling him a bully and stuff like that.
No,
Uh,
only reason the bully because he responds to dumbass people like Dillian White, fucking
yeah.
trash ass fighter
Plus,
who talks
how
a
can
lot of
you
shit and doesn't
bully?
try to fight anybody.
But that's like, how can you bully one of your peers? Like Dillian White's a grown ass boxer himself. Like, you know what I mean?
Why? Because Dillian White's a hater, man. Just talks all kinds of shit, lies. When people call him out on his bullshit, he gets upset. He wants to block, and he blocks you and things of that nature. We bring actual facts. He's like, he has an aversion to facts that just, that annoys the fuck out of him when you actually present actual facts towards him. So
No, but
because
what
of
I
that,
wanted to
Wilder,
get at is this. Well, what I wanted to get at is, sometimes, in boxing, those terms are used, or they shouldn't be used, to describe a fighter's personality outside the ring.
no,
You
that's
know
what
what
it should be. Mike Tyson was an actual bully, man.
I mean?
That guy was a bully. That guy, fucked people up outside of the ring and shit like that, man. That's
Yeah.
completely different kind of character, bro.
But I think the idea is like Wilder was a guy trying to come at you and knock you the fuck out, you know. So, as far as that goes, So although I don't think that's the best metaphor anyway, the the best way to describe the fight is I took him out before he could take me out, and I did it by any means necessary. You know what I mean? That's basically what Fury did here.
Yeah, that's what it is. He brought the fight to the puncher before the puncher could knock him out,
Yeah.
before the puncher could catch him on the end of his shot. That's basically what he did. He decided to go into the eye, or should say, he decided to go into the danger zone,
Mhm.
invade someone's fort, and take on the and
Yeah.
take on the troops, take on the soldiers while they were asleep. That's basically what he did, man. He went in there and infiltrated the fort and took them out while they were all knocked out and asleep. And that's basically what he did to Wilder, caught Wilder off guard. This time, Wilder will likely be awake and waiting for someone to try to infiltrate the fort. And we'll see what happens in this next fight, man. I think Wilder can definitely bounce back. Like I said, there's opportunities for him to make Fury pay, and let's see what Fury does. I think Fury should try to change some of his game plan. I don't think Fury should come with the exact same game plan. If I'm Fury, I would try to mix it up a little bit in this fight, little infighting, little outside fighting. I would bring it to Wilder at times. Not continue to come forward the whole fight. And but you never know. You never know with Fury. I think Fury would try to mix it up a little bit, try to bring it a little bit different. He's fought differently in two different fights. I would think that he would fight a little bit different in this fight because the whole goal is to always be different and not to bring them be repetitive. If Fury can change and fight a little bit differently in this fight, then Wilder has to adjust again. The whole goal is to keep Wilder adjusting. And the thing is, though, I want to see Wilder be able to adjust within the fight himself, make multiple adjustments within the fight. If Fury decides to start off outboxing, Fury and Wilder can come forward, pepper jabs to the body, throw hooks to the body. And then when Fury wants to come forward, Wilder needs to be prepared to counter. And you got to be able to change what you're doing. You know what I mean? At the blink of an eye, just like Fury can potentially do that. Wilder has to be able to do that too. Fury wants to switch hit. He wants to be able to shift to southpaw, and then you got to be prepared for that. So Wilder has to be prepared. He needs to prepare for an orthodox fighter and a southpaw fighter when Fury decides to switch back and forth between orthodox and southpaw, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, what I'll say is this. I'm looking forward to the trilogy. I'm looking forward to the fight. I'm looking forward to see how Wilder responds. Because he's the one that can go back, kind of assess the situation, and man, it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. I'm not ready to drop a prediction yet or anything like that. I gotta rewatch the fight a couple more times and stuff like that. But I will say that I'm looking forward to this fight, man. You have any final thoughts?
Hold on, sorry about that. Repeat that again. Sorry about that, man. Kind of went out for a minute.
That's cool. I would just say, man, I'm basically looking forward to this fight. Not sure if you had any final thoughts.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, I'm excited about the fight too, man. Hey, if think about it, if it's a classic fight, You could get a 4 fight out of this, man. How many times do we get that at today's, especially from a heavyweight division, man? This is going to be memorable. If Wilder knocks Fury out, and then we could potentially be looking at a 4 fight. And if there's a 4 fight, man, we're talking about legendary shit here. I mean, both of these guys, in my opinion, especially if it's a situation where Wilder wins the rematch, the both guys, in my opinion, move up to legendary status, where both guys have won by knockout. First fight was a draw, second fight was a knockout by Fury, third fight was a knockout by Wilder, fourth fight determines it all. I think that would be legendary. That's how legends are built. And both of these guys have potential to move them to the all-time great status, and they could potentially be friends, or at least they already have enough respect for each other now. But this is what we want to see out of the sport of boxing. And so I love it, man. I love it. And for you, Hawker Mustang, bro, I know who you are, bro. I've ran into your actual boxing channel now. You speak with other dudes, man. And I know about you and your anti-black rants on a regular basis, motherfucker. So I know exactly who you are, dude. I know about you during the Pacquiao era. I know about all that racist shit you were saying, bro. We know who you are, motherfucker. I've seen you. Matter of fact, before I had a different name when I see you in the comment section and saying racist shit towards me, bro. So believe me, I know who you are. And I know you love to use that N-word that starts with an R. I mean, it starts with an N-word and ends with an R on a regular basis, bro. You may have calmed it back now because I ain't been listening to you, dumbass. But I know who you are. But yeah, man, I can't wait for this fight. I love the
For
sport of
some reason,
boxing, man. Yeah.
my entire block list got cleared by YouTube for some reason. I'm serious.
Wow,
I
I'm not
blocked
surprised by
Hawker
YouTube.
years ago, years ago. And I saw him on there, and I said, you know what? If he just talks boxing, I'm alright with it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But but don't start act like I'm tolerating you here. Like don't like push my buttons. But
right.
um, as far as the Wayne wanted to come on. Wayne, are you there? Wayne, Boxing Talk. Like, where are you, bro? I think that was Boxing Talk. Remember him?
Oh, let me say one thing before you get out here too, man.
Yeah.
How did you like that Virgil Ortiz sitting next to Earl Spence yesterday, man? It's a future fight. I like that. I like both guys. I like the kid, man. That's Virgil
Like both.
Ortiz is the truth. Beautiful fight in the future, man.
54, yeah.
Yeah, man. If it fits more, going to like him to be at 54. Yeah, not at 47, man. Definitely a
More
54
likely.
fight. Yeah, 54 fight. More
I
like
think dude, they got to get him a name, bro. I think he's ready for Keith Thurman.
Yeah. Oh, he knocks out Keith Thurman right now, man. No problem. Stop Keith Thurman. I think in the first half of the fight, I'm dead ass serious. In the first half of the fight, he stops Keith Thurman. I would love to see it, but unfortunately, though, I mean, Golden Boy and PBC ain't really doing too much business together.
Yeah.
But I mean, maybe you can find a way to. Jose Lopez be a good, but I know they're in the same camp. But Jose Lopez would be a good fight for Virgil Ortiz too, especially when blow him away. That's also another opportunity.
How would that work out?
I know when both guys are trained, man. Right, Robert Garcia, but I don't know how you could do that. But that would be a good fight for him to have, man. There's a lot there, but there's a lot of other fights out there for him too. How about I like Sim versus Sergey Lipinets. How about Ortiz versus Sergey Lipinets?
It is a risky fight. It is a risky fight.
It is because Lipinets can punch, and if he could potentially ruin the kid's career. So, but I would still favor Virgil. But I mean that is a tough fight, and this is not somebody who can't punch. He could definitely return fire and potentially hurt him, really badly. If he slips, it's hard to focus for 36 minutes all the way through. But against somebody like Lipinets, you have to. You can't afford to make a mistake because he can potentially stretch you and really brutally beat you up. That could be a really great fight, man. Two guys who crack that hard. But I mean, we've seen that Ortiz when he needs to can be defensive, can be really really defensively responsible, can slip shots, can make guys miss. You know what I'm saying? And it can actually fight off the back foot and fight off the ropes. We've seen that from him. So that's why it will be interesting to fight. To see him go up against a puncher who could potentially hurt him, and to watch him use his boxing skill instead of just coming forward. Well, he's using that's boxing skills too, but I'm just talking about the use some of his other skill set. He has more tools in the toolbox, and it would be nice to see. I would like to see him be able to use those other tools and then still stop somebody. You know what I mean? Stop somebody off the back foot or stop somebody off the ropes. That would be just ridiculous. If he does something like that, if he fought Sergey Lipinets, and stretched him off the back foot. You know what that's gonna do for that kid? Come on, that's amazing. Yeah, so
What the
I
hell
would
is
love to see it.
Wayne? Like you dudes, bro. Like if you guys ask me for links, and then 5 minutes later I give you a link and you don't respond, I'm never gonna like send you guys a link again. All right? Like, holy shit!
No,
I
now
wanted
people
him
want to get
on
on to the bad
because
Ortiz.
he was actually, I don't know if you remember when Low Place was here and I was here and he was here too.
Yeah, I remember that.
So he wanted a link, so I'm giving this guy an opportunity, and he's not here. So it is what it is. I ain't gonna wait forever for him. So good shit.
No, now this guy thinks that he thinks that we're dumb. Like we're dumb. Like we don't remember his name. Like your name is distinctive, dude. And when with somebody with a distinctive name like yours stands out like a sore thumb, bro. We ain't gonna forget you. You one of those names. Some of these names are similar to others, but your name is similar to no one else's. So you stick out.
He's
So
here.
you're somebody I would never forget. I said I will never forget Hockey Mustang, man.
I have no
Never.
idea this is him, but well,
No, it's him. I went to his channel. It's him.
no, it's not him. No. What I meant is the person on here. It's Ronald Finkley, I believe. Hello.
Oh, Ronald Fickle?
Yo, what's good, y'all? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, that's Ronald.
Loud
What's
and
up,
clear.
man?
Yo, since he didn't come in, I figured I'd just come in and
Sure.
grab that link. You know me, I'm a mod, but what's good, y'all? I'm just saying, like, this was a great conversation tonight, man. A
Yeah.
lot of talking points came out in this conversation.
Absolutely, man. What are your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts is that, like, I really feel like Wilder has been, like, in a lot of wars, and I just feel like if they fight in October, that's what I would be considered where he's, like, totally 100%. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion, you know.
You need some time.
I agree. Actually, I wanted it towards the end of December, but to let him actually get a chance to work on some rest and then work on some things. That's what I wanted it towards the end of December. I mean, or November at the earliest. That's what I would prefer.
Exactly, Callie. He just put in a lot of work. He's just been holding boxing on his back. You know what I mean? You can't deny that he actually brought everybody back to boxing, even Tyson Fury. And Tyson Fury won on paper. You know what I mean? But it's just been a lot going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. October sounds to me is way better than July or something like that. July's probably too soon.
Yeah, you know, the man's been draining. Like he's going to Africa right now because I think he's just feeling like he just has to. Like he gets away when he's in his hometown of Alabama, but he's been so popular for so long that it's like, and he's been popular, and we know he's been popular. I think that's why he's going further away is to kind of like really just try to find a peace of mind. You know what I mean? Like, because we
Right.
never been to Africa. I never been to Africa. So I get what he's doing. You see what I'm saying? He's trying to like find balance in this whole situation of all of this turmoil. Because I call it turmoil when you have to deal with everybody and you have to fight off all these fucking demons. That's just the way I look at it. You know what I mean?
Oh, definitely.
Every day. We all need to get away sometime, you know? So
Get away and just
yeah,
flex a little bit, come back stronger. Yeah.
Yeah, the message was powerful. You know, him going on Instagram and him like explaining like, you know, who he know, who got his back. That was a powerful message. Just like everything else he does is powerful. You know, and I'm a man fan. Yeah, I'm a man fan. I'm gonna let everybody know I'm a man fan of somebody who I feel like is just a genuine entity who works hard and he always comes out and he gives you what you want to see. We've all seen entertainment fights. That's all we've seen from Deontay Wilder the last 4 or 5 years. It's entertainment. You see what I'm saying? It's like gladiator shit. You know what I mean? Like that's a man fan. Because if I can watch it and I can recognize what he did, I'm a man fan. Real talk.
Yep. And you know what? I don't think he's getting enough respect for saying let's do it again, like immediately.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
boxing fans for years have been complaining about, and you know, rightfully so, that these guys aren't fighting each other. They want to marinate everything, and Wilder's like, nah, we're gonna do it right now. Well, not right
Hey,
now.
yo,
I mean, next.
and D style, not only that, we wanted Fury to run it right back right after that fight, but we gave him the benefit of the doubt of having a whole next extra like 8, 9, 10 months collateral damage because we knew he was concussed when he fought Wilder. I knew he was concussed. He didn't want to run it right back. He didn't want to run it right back, so he went somewhere else, you know. You know, Wilder deserves that because of how he's put boxing on his back. You know, and that's just real life, man. Like you got to give a man a break at some point, especially when you the hardest working motherfucker out there. And that's just the
Yeah,
way I look at it.
I definitely think they should aim for September, October, something like that. Um, if anything, to kind of gather stuff. If for whatever reason this fight doesn't happen, it should, but if it doesn't happen, what do you think of a Dillian White fight?
Oh yeah, Dylan White. Yeah, I heard him the other day talking yesterday. He actually just really, he's really like he's a fan of Wilder. He just don't know it. He's a fan of Wilder, man. He just want to
And
like Wilder bosom and shit.
No,
And
I see.
that's a good way to put it.
I see. This is what I think. I think he wants one of those big ass paydays, and he's got paid. But he's not poor or anything like that. But I mean, he's looking at all these dudes getting 10, 15, 20, 30, now 40 million. He's like, man, I've been getting like $1.5 million, 2, 3 million here. I want some of that $40 million money. I want some of that $10 million money, 12, $15 million money. You know, Andy Ruiz had his last two paydays were bigger than any payday that Dillian White's ever had in his whole career. Dillian White's biggest payday is about 3 million. So yeah,
Don't they have to give it to the queen, Callie? Don't they have to give like a lot of that money to the queen or some shit? Like,
well, yeah, everybody in the UK has to pay taxes to the Queen. Everybody in the UK has to pay tax to the Queen. But matter of fact, there's still some colonies that have to pay out money to the Queen.
Wait, dude, what?
Yeah, I mean Canada still pays money to the Queen of England. Canada
You
does.
kidding me?
yeah, they get
No.
a lot of their money fucking tax, bro.
Yeah, Canada still has to pay money to the Queen for real.
Wow. Man, I can't stand all that shit. I can't stand that whole royal wedding shit. I can't stand the whole. There was a segment on. I mean, I know I'm diving off here, but there was a segment on CNN once where they're talking about that the prince he doesn't know if he's ready for fatherhood and the challenges that it will bring. The motherfucker's got nannies and shit. They don't like do anything. Right? But
Exactly. They don't work hard at all, but they complaining about working hard. Like,
like, dude, you were born in a royal family, but you're literally not gonna have to work for like your life. Like people in Canada are paying like your bills, bro. Like,
that's that.
Yeah, Jamaica just stopped paying not that long ago. Jamaica was still paying too. St. Lucia, they still pay taxes to the Queen. What is it? They Bahamas as well.
They're telling me these UK dudes they want to tell me how to spend my money. Like, why do you want pay per view? Pay for the zone. Like, they pay for the fucking Queen.
They got to take care of the Queen for the rest of their life, man. The Queen, and the royal family gets tax dollars from all the citizens in the UK and from their colonies, So all British colonies have to pay taxes to the Queen. Yeah, she's living like a fat cat. So your family, who's just pillaged and annihilated a whole bunch of people over the years, still get to force these people to pay taxes to you. What the? That's some entitled shit, and ain't it?
That's
Some entitled shit.
Tell them that's why they trying to invade America because they trying to get away from that. They trying to get away from having to,
Yeah, funny thing, America is full of people who are from the UK, even though they always tell us to leave America. But like, man, but I said, your name is Smith, buddy. You're from the UK. Your name is Willis. Your name is Wilson. Your name is Wells. You know what I'm saying? Those are British names. Or someone or maybe you could play a name from the UK like McGregor or McGuire or McNeeson or Neil
McMillan,
and all these
McMillan,
Miller, yeah,
McMillan,
Olsen, and those type of names, Lewis. Like these are all UK names.
O'Harry, like O'Harry and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, O'Hara and all these. All these different names. Yeah, these are all UK names. And like I said, people say, I'm American. I was like, dude, but what's your last name? Healy. Healy is your last name. Dude, you're from the UK. Your family, your bloodline come from the UK. That's not American.
And we know,
I know this is off topic, bro.
We know that from way back then, like how that works because we've seen it.
No, but you know what's off topic? Because I had brought this up to this dude and this MAGA guy, because I've been arguing on Twitter a lot on politics. And this MAGA guy was saying, I remember the good old days back when there was no immigration, back when, when we were able, all the churches were full, and we were able to pray in schools, and that the buses were clean, and that that the cities were clean, and that when people were respectful, and back when the businesses were really good, and everybody respected the military, and people respect police and stuff. I said, oh, so you talking about like the segregation days and before Reconstruction and slavery those days? Well,
It,
well, you
wondering the same thing I'm wondering. So, is this just like they pay taxes and then a portion of that budget goes to the queen, or is it like an extra tax?
notice that there's an extra tax that goes to the Queen because they're ex-colony. I don't know how Canada
So
hasn't
they
gotten off of
even
that yet.
told, it's in their face that you're paying it to the queen.
Yes, I believe it's part of the Canadian Constitution that they have to pay taxes to the Queen of England. I don't know how to get away from that. If I was Canada, I would just stop doing it. There's no way in the world I'm going to give the Queen of England money still, but they still pay her taxes, which is insane to me. But I don't know why you would. I mean, you're a country that's big enough to stand up for itself, and you could take on the United Kingdom in a war and hold your own. So I don't understand why you would still pay, but they still do. And I don't think that we would even allow the UK to even invade over here in North America, because that would be invading kind of in our space. So I think we would actually stand with Canada in a war. So if I was Canada, I would like, well, you're not going to come over here and do shit. You're going to come over here. We're right next to the United States. You're going to come over here and invade? No, you're not going to do shit, bro. So you're going to stay your ass over there, and we're not going to pay you any more fucking taxes. But yeah, that's what happens, bro. That's what happens, man. They're still paying taxes. I don't know why. I think they should stop. I believe Jamaica. I think Jamaica had just stopped now not too long ago, and I don't know why Canada hasn't. But
If they stop, what are they going to do to them? Not like they're going to go invade them. Right? I just don't. It's just like this weird shit that they're doing. I don't know, man.
I don't know why they continue to pay either, man. It's odd to me why Canada still pays them. It blows my mind. Like, why the fuck you guys still paying the Queen of England, man? I mean, it's like, what the fuck is she gonna do? So I mean, I don't understand. Maybe that's why Prince Harry and Meghan Markle decided to move to Canada, because I don't know. I don't know why I know they were racism part of it too, but I mean, why did they choose Canada? Like a country that pays taxes to the Queen. I mean, to Prince Harry's grandma. Prince Harry's grandma.
The Cali Enigma and D Styles. How long y'all think Wilder gonna be over there in Nigeria?
Is that where he went? I was going to ask.
Yeah, he went to Nigeria. I'll be honest with you, if I was him, I would try to spend, if I'm such a rich, I'd try to spend like 2-3 weeks out there. Maybe really get acclimated. Why not?
Yeah.
I would. Yeah, why not?
That's like to me that's like where Egypt like started, or where like everything kind of started in life. Like it's going to the place where everything started in life. You know what I mean? Like the Nigerian River, what they call it, the Nigerian River, whatever they call it. It's just amazing that he gets to go there, like to the Nile. Ain't that where the Nile River is?
The Nile's by Egypt, isn't it? So
I'm pretty sure it's like that's all like the same area. It's like the top part of Africa.
Nigeria. That's what what's funny? I have a globe like right here, like 5 feet away from me. But where's Nigeria? Let's see. I think the Nile's about like North Sudan and Egypt and stuff. South Sudan. You know what I mean? You guys hear me?
Yeah, I think I got to get off because I think I got 5% left.
Yeah, it was north. It's a northern Africa. I'm talking about the Nile River.
I'm gonna get off.
Yeah. I know. I see the map. It goes from Egypt down to like.
Yeah, it goes from the Mediterranean Sea all the way down into the Sudan.
The Sudan, South Sudan. So no,
Yeah.
it's not I'm sure which river. Nigeria's like in the
Yeah, Nigeria's in the western part of Africa.
It's like center. center west. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the West Africa, man, is yeah, so that's well, I'm made up of more West African than anything. That's the majority of my makeup is West African. So um, man, that's why I have Nigerian descent as well.
Mm.
With my makeup, Senegalese, Congolese as well. So yeah, said I like it, man. Are you coming back on tonight?
I'm not sure because
Yeah,
there's arrangements going on, like with the funeral
right.
and stuff. So
Oh, I'm sorry about that, man.
that's I can't say yet, man. But
Yeah,
it's good to be on. I know that that's just boxing, guys.
yeah.
Conversations get heated in the chat, but that boxing, you know what I mean? Like,
Oh man, you know this for me because man, I've been going ham. I have to take some time off of Twitter, man, because I've been going ham on Twitter for about a week. And go off of, not off boxing, off the politics, man. You know what I mean? I just love taking it to MAGA guys and to all the dumbass neoliberal Democratic voters, people who just like you vote blue no matter who. No, I don't like Quay.
I'll give the establishment this. They come up with catchphrases. But
Right. That's
you
that's
vote
a
no matter who. That's some dude from the right with that.
Yeah, I just don't understand that mindset. We be like, I'm a real Democrat. I'm like, man, okay, you could be a real Democrat. I don't give a fuck. I don't care about none of that shit, bro. I'm not part of anybody's team. I vote based off policy. If the policy is something that I like that I think will benefit me, then I'll go for that candidate. I'm not gonna vote for a guy based off of personality. People are like, well, Bernie Sanders' move is rude. Don't give a fuck, man. He has policies that I like. If he got away from those policies, I wouldn't be with him
Oh
anymore.
shit! Come on, bro. He's here. Let's see.
Yeah,
Boxing talk. I mean, you're lucky Ronald Finkley came out and gave his thoughts, so we're about to shut this shit down. So what's
right.
going on?
Hey, what's up?
What's happening, man?
I don't
I
know.
know
You
the
tell me.
volume
You
is
want
kind
to
of
play?
the volume is kind of cracking up a little bit on my end. I don't know what that is.
The chat can hear
Hold on,
us.
say something.
Nah, you clear, man. You clear. Now you were breaking up a little bit. Now you're clear. We talking
Yeah.
about UD
Yeah,
stuff. You clear now.
Yeah.
it's breaking up. When y'all speak, it's breaking up.
Nah, I hear it clear now.
Okay, now you hear clear?
Yep.
Okay. Oh yeah. My thoughts on the fight is this. I picked Fury to win the fight. The second fight. I picked Wilder to win the first fight. Now the second fight, based on what happened on the first fight, is why I picked Tyson Fury. I mean, when I seen the first fight, I seen clearly. I mean, I knew that Tyson Fury was a better boxer, but I didn't know. I didn't know Deontay Wilder was going to react how he reacted in the first fight. Now he said that he didn't follow his own game plan. So going off of that, I was like, okay, well maybe he didn't follow his game plan, but my thing is this: is two fighters in the ring. If you didn't follow your game plan, it's not completely you. It's because you're facing someone else. They didn't let you get the game plan off either. So it's kind of half you and half the guy that you actually facing in the ring.
Mm.
Tyson Fury, to me, the two times that Tyson Fury got knocked down by Deontay Wilder, especially the first one, Tyson Fury, I don't know what he was thinking. He was losing focus in that round and made a bad mistake on that I seen when he took a step back like that, and Wilder just stepped in on him real quick. I don't know if he thought Wilder can close the distance that fast, but Wilder was able to close the distance and knock him
He was
down
he
with
was
the first
actually
shot.
tired, Fury.
Well, I mean, he could have been tired. He could have been tired, but the second knockdown, I thought Tyson Fury made a mistake. I thought Tyson Fury came out on his front foot, and when he came out on his front foot, Deontay Wilder stepped to him and was able to hit him with that tremendous right hand and clean up left hook. Now, to me, that was the best right hand left hook I ever seen in boxing history. I mean, since I've been watching boxing. So I didn't know how the man got up. I don't know how he got up. It was an act of whatever that the man got up. But the second fight, when I see usually when a technician see you for the first time and y'all go all 12 rounds, I always get an advantage to the high level technician fighter before I can give it to Deontay. See, I don't think Deontay Wilder is one-handed per se, but Deontay Wilder is a puncher. That's what he is to his nature, his core. He's a puncher. So Wilder was able, not Wilder, but Tyson Fury was able to dissect everything and look at the tape of the first fight, and he probably thought to himself like, hold on, if I bag him up, if I put him on his back foot, that's going to be better for me because when Wilder throws the right hand, what people got to realize, he takes a hop step forward before he throw the right hand. If you ever see Wilder throw his right hand, he hops to you, he takes that full step forward, and then he let the right hand go. So if you put him on his back foot, now we got it. Now Tyson Fury was saying, okay, I know you can deliver the right hand coming forward. I want to see how good you deliver it going backwards. And in my book, Deontay Wilder doesn't have multiple ways to deliver the right hand. You have to be able to counter with your right hand. If people know that that's your strength, you have to be able to hide it. You have to be able to use your jab effectively, and you need to hide your right hand. You need to be able to counter with your right hand. You need to be able to throw leads with your right hand. You need to be able to fight off your back foot and still deliver your right hand. Deontay Wilder, in my book, from me viewing Deontay Wilder, he only knows how to deliver the right hand a really effective one way, and that's coming forward. So if you put him on his back foot,
not quite true. He knocked out Spilka and he dropped Ortiz with the off the back foot, bro. So it's not true.
No. I'm saying for the most, it's not always. I'm saying for the most part. If you look at most of Deontay Wilder knocking people out, he's knocking guys out going forward, not coming back. 99% of his knockouts are him going forward. Nothing is everything. Nothing is all everything. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is this.
Go ahead.
In the third fight, it's not going to be any different in my book because me watching boxing for a while, I've been watching boxing for like 25, almost 30 years. And usually when a fighter dominates the fighter the way he dominated Wilder, the third fight or the second fight, the guy can close the gap a little bit, but they don't close the gap enough to win the fight. So I think the second fight is going to be a carbon copy of the the third fight going to be the carbon copy of the second fight. Fury going to come forward, and Wilder is going to have to show Fury that he has something for that come forward style. If Wilder don't have something for that, it's going to be the same thing.
And you know what? And Mr. Boxing Today too says you're not going to count the back foot knockouts. Those back foot knockouts, you're not going to count those. Because I mean, he literally fought off the back foot and got those knockouts brutally. His most vicious knockout was from off the back foot.
I get it. I get it.
But you at first, I know you adjusted after I challenged you, though. You adjusted after I challenged you, but at first you were saying that he couldn't fight off the back foot at all.
Where do most of his knockouts come from, though? Going forward or coming
Don't
back?
matter. You said he couldn't do it, and then I challenged you and proved you wrong.
I didn't say he couldn't do it. I didn't say he couldn't do it.
Wait.
I said that his knockouts come from
Can you guys hear me?
forward.
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, check it out. So the way you described it, bro, like I get what you're saying, but if like the way you said it is, so he always he always hops forward and then he throws the right hand. That's
he does.
Hold up. That sounds very elementary, bro. Like that sounds extremely elementary.
Okay.
No, hold on.
Okay. I know it sounds elementary.
You don't think these other guys he fought, whether it's Ortiz, for example, you don't think he would have figured that out?
Everybody's not gonna be able to implement the game plan against Wilder like Fury does. Everybody's not gonna be able to.
What you say? You hop forward, though.
Hey, look, D-Style. You
gotta find a better wording than that.
Hey, D-Style. I can give you a blueprint on how to beat a fighter. That doesn't mean if you're a fighter, you're gonna be able to go in there and do it. No, everybody's not gonna be able to go in there and do it.
But can you clarify when you say he hops forward and then he throws the right hand?
Yeah, he does.
Like he wouldn't have like all the knockouts he has if it was that simple, bro.
No. It's simple. It's simple. Deontay, no, I'm gonna tell you why it's simple.
And he didn't hop forward before he knocked out Ortiz.
Hold on. Deontay Wilder is very, very good at delivering that right hand. It's a skill. He has a very good skill of delivering the right hand, but he delivers it for the most part one way, though. For the most part, I'm not saying all the time, because nothing is everything. Nothing is all the time. I'm saying for the most part, he delivers going forward, not coming backward.
Bro, you could literally say that about any fighter in history. What he just said.
No. I can't say that about every fighter in history.
For the most part, all knockouts are when guys are coming forward rather than on the back foot. That's true, period. It's a Wilder, bro.
But I'm saying from what I've seen, like say for instance, okay, look at the second fight. Tell me how many times he was willing to throw the right hand off his back foot. Tell me how many times he threw it off his back foot.
Well, his balance was off in the second fight, but he landed multiple right hands, bro. He landed multiple right hands in this fight.
That first
yeah, his balance was off, bro. His balance was off, right? I mean, but I love how you try to address it, but at the end of the day, you still said that he couldn't fight off the back foot at first, then you modified after that challenge.
We could run it back, bro. We could run back the audio. At least maybe you could say, I didn't mean to say that, right? Did you mean to say that?
His equilibrium was off. Yes, it was off. Yes, it was off.
Okay.
It was off. It was off from round what? 4 on up, 3 on up, 3 to 7. Yeah, it was off. It was off. But you gotta look at the round.
There's nothing wrong with look. Do you have a video where you predicted where he's going to knock out Walter?
Oh yeah, I got a video. Oh yeah. D-Sal, go look at my video.
No, but you said he's going to knock him out.
That Fury would knock him out between round 9 and 10, but he did in the 7th. I got a video. I ain't got to lie about it.
You broke it down. Like, you did a breakdown of it?
I broke it down. I broke it down and everything. I ain't just say he's going to knock him out. I broke it down. I knew when Tyson Fury was saying in the press conference that he said, look, I cannot get a decision
because Waters had a lot of fights last time you came on, and you never came on.
You said what?
Because Waters had a lot of fights since the last time you were on this channel, and you never, like, guys came on and asked for a link or anything like that. It wasn't
no. Hey, D-Style, it's a couple times I came in your thing and asked you for a link. You never sent one. you just never sent one. Yeah, you just never sent one. I came in there the last time you was talking right before the fight, 2 days before the fight. You had, it was you, and I think 78 came on, and I asked you.
Kelly, how did you come on? How did you come on that video?
Matt, the link that you put in the chat room.
I said it is an open forum, and I put it in the chat room.
Oh, I never came on your link. Yeah, no, I never came in. I asked you for a link, but you didn't send it.
What do you mean?
But you sent one.
That's not true. You put one in the chat room, bro.
How did you ask for a link, but you never came in? That doesn't make sense.
I don't think you sent the link. I was waiting on the link. I don't think I ever got it. I was waiting on it. Now this one you just sent like in.
So besides this fight, like what other fights have you predicted like in the last like 5 months?
Who, me? Did I predict it?
Yeah, videos of, yeah.
Well, you talking about Wilder fights?
No, just in general.
Fights in general.
Yeah.
Oh, fights in general. I mean, I got videos of fights of the past 2-3 years.
Okay, and you got them all right? Like all of them are right?
No, I don't get nobody get fights all right. How the hell am I gonna get all of them right?
How many times you predicted Wilder to lose?
This is the first time I think I predicted Wilder to lose was the Fury 2 fight. The Fury 1 fight I picked Wilder because I didn't think Fury was ready.
Do you have the receipt? Do you have the receipt of the Ortiz fight? Your predictions up and everything?
The loser Ortiz 1, I believe I got up.
But the second one?
I picked the second one. I picked Wilder. If it's up, I picked Wilder. I picked Wilder to beat Luis Ortiz. I picked Wilder to beat Ortiz. I don't think that highly of Ortiz like everybody else do. I don't think that highly of him like everybody else do.
So did you pick Anthony Joshua to lose to Andy Ruiz?
Huh?
Did you pick Joshua to lose to Ruiz?
I picked Joshua to beat Andy Ruiz. Yeah, I picked Joshua to beat Andy Ruiz. Yeah.
What about the rematch?
But I picked Joshua to win the rematch though.
Okay.
I picked him to win to win the first fight and the rematch.
It's cool, bro. I just feel like you wanted to come on because you feel good about the fact that Wilder lost.
No, man.
Oh, that's the vibe I get from you too, bro.
D-Style, you've been knowing me for a while.
It's okay if it is.
You just met me today. You ain't just met me today, man. You've been
no, but you come on. See, I got it right. I'm telling you, like
no. I'm not. Come on, get to mom got it right.
I got you.
Mainly, what I want to talk about is the third fight because I don't think anything gonna change. I don't think it's gonna change. I think Fury has his number. I think.
Yeah.
To me, I think Wilder, which I know he's not going to do, and I know people don't want him to do it, but I think Wilder should take a step back. I think Wilder should take a step back. Let Fury go fight Joshua and hope Joshua beat Fury.
Hold on, but the thing though, let me tell you something, man. We know Fury is subject to retire on the dime. We know Fury is subject to go on the coke binge. Wilder don't have the time to sit back and wait for someone like Tyson Fury, who could retire at any moment.
I said I don't think he's going to do it. I'm just telling you what I think.
No, so you said he should though, but what if Fury retires after the next fight?
Well,
Then when he had an opportunity to take the rematch.
Hey, that's a possibility. But
so you got to take the fight when you got an opportunity too.
I'm telling you what I think because I don't think anything's going to change in 4 months. I don't think anything's going to change in 4 months.
Let me aside from right, do you think? Do you respect the fact that Wilder's going to go right in there and fight him again?
Hold on, say it again.
Do you respect the fact that he's going to fight him again?
Yeah, I respect that he's going to fight him again. I mean, I told people when I was on the phone, I was on the phone with a couple people. I said, let Wilder have his third fight. The man earned the right to have his third fight. Let him have his third fight. Let him have his rematch. He's earned the right to come back and try to make it right. But in my mind, it's just from what I see. I don't see him being able to close the gap enough to win.
Hold on, let me say something. What happens when Wilder is getting hit in the back of the head with Tyson Fury fading in the 4th, 5th, 6th round?
Okay, now
what if Wilder never got hit in the back of the head and equilibrium wasn't thrown off? Do we know if that fight would have ended that way? How do you know Wilder when he came back and knocked him out?
I seen Fury.
I'm saying how do you know Wilder wouldn't have been able to came because Fury got tired. Fury faded, look. We know Wilder got hit in the back of the head and the equilibrium got thrown off, right?
Let's see what he has.
So you saying what if Fury didn't land the punch, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if he didn't land a punch in the back of Deontay Wilder's back of Deontay Wilder's head? Because he got hit in the back of the head.
I can't listen. All I can go by is what happened, man. The man landed the punch. I mean, sometimes you hit people in the ear.
Yeah, it happens. It happens.
Like Andy Louise, when he hit Joshua, that was on the side of the head. I mean, it was the same type of thing.
Wilder's was directly in the back of the head.
Oh no, it wasn't directly in the back of the head.
Yes, it was.
It was on the side of the head.
It was in the back of the head, dude.
Directly on the back.
It was in the back of the head, dude.
So where was Anthony Joshua's at in your mind? What was Anthony Joshua's at?
It was in the temple
when he landed.
Ruiz hit him in the temple. I'm kind of in the middle. I mean, it wasn't like it wasn't a rabbit punch, but it did land like.
Was it a dirty punch? Was it a dirty punch in your mind?
I would
call it a dirty punch. Shit happens in the sport of boxing, man. Wilder, in my opinion, could have done something to prevent it from happening.
Let me word it this way. I don't want to put words in Cali's mouth, but this is what he's trying to say. Everything is circumstantial, okay? If that circumstance didn't happen, if his equilibrium wasn't off, how do you know if it wouldn't have been a totally different fight?
Okay, so how do y'all know Anthony Joshua would have been a totally different fight if his equilibrium wasn't off?
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. Hold up. I'm glad you said that. His equilibrium was not off in the rematch, right? Did Andy Ruiz throw his equilibrium off in the rematch?
No, he didn't throw his equilibrium off in the rematch.
Okay, and what happened?
Because you know why? Because he didn't get close to him for him to punch him.
No, but Joshua got hurt. Joshua got hurt multiple times, and he grabbed real quick.
But answer my question though. But who won the fight?
Joshua was able to come back and be able to stay out of the line of fire. That's what he did. He stayed out of the line.
Okay, bro. But here's what I'm trying to get. You're missing my point. You're missing my point. My point went over your head. Okay. Like you kind of make the point for me.
Hold on.
I'm gonna finish my point.
My opinion is.
Hey, bro. It's hold on. Yo, it's my show. I finish my points. Okay. Listen to what I gotta say. You made my point for me, right? You literally said, okay, well, how do you know Joshua wouldn't have come back? Well, his equilibrium was off, okay? And Andy Ruiz put a beating on him. The fight, in my opinion, I think he wanted a way out. They stopped that fight, okay? In the rematch, that didn't – hold up. In the rematch, that did not happen, okay? Joshua made some adjustments, okay, against the guy who beat him and stopped him in the 7th round, right? Mm-hmm. And he ended up, coming back and winning the rematch. How do you not?
Okay, I'm glad. The only way
to know if we already know, like that he can go 12 rounds with Fury. He's already done it. He's already dropped him twice. We already know this.
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Let me ask you a question. In my opinion, even if he did, let's just say he didn't land an equilibrium punch and his equilibrium was off. I still thought Tyson Fury was gonna win the fight. That's just my.
Well,
opinion.
that's your
Even
opinion.
Okay,
You know,
but your opinion.
but do you know that? You don't know that.
But you don't know either. You don't know either.
Well, but that's why
no one said we knew. No one claimed to say we knew.
That's why we fight the fights, bro. So
no,
let him get his damn trilogy, bro.
Okay, what I know is this: Tyson Fury won the second fight. Okay, so now we got to go to the third.
We all know that.
Now, Tyson Fury won the second fight. We know that. We all know that. I mean, it's in black and white. Yeah.
No one's arguing that.
You go on BoxRec. It's Tyson Fury.
But did anybody on this show say that Wilder won the second fight?
Nope.
No. What I'm saying is this.
Why do you keep saying?
Whether I got an opinion or you got an opinion about the equilibrium, whether I got an opinion or you got an opinion about it, that fight is done.
No, bro. This is what we said. We said we don't know what would have happened. Fury could have went on and stopped him later, or Fury could have went on and outboxed him. But we don't know. Wilder could potentially had an opportunity to knock him out late. I don't know.
Okay,
but
in your opinion, right?
I'm saying I don't know, bro. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. Okay, you're saying as you know.
But what we do know, what we do know is the punch landed, his equilibrium was off, and Tyson Fury capitalized and won the fight. That's what we do know. Now we can all have opinions. We can all have opinions of what we thought would have happened if the equilibrium shot didn't land.
There's anyone
in my opinion, Tyson Fury is the better fighter. Period. I don't even know what we're arguing about because Tyson Fury is the better fighter. Wilder is the better puncher, but Tyson Fury is the better fighter.
Bro, no, that might be because you have a cell phone. Check it out, okay?
You said what?
You keep stating things that no one is arguing. We all know Fury.
That's good. Look. Can we move on? Can we move on to see who's going to win the third fight? The second fight is over. You can't do nothing about it.
Okay, well that's what we said. We said to win. That's what we're talking about. You're the one saying.
Oh, okay. Let's move on to the third fight.
You said don't do the third fight. This is let's fight off together.
No, I said in my opinion. Well, in my opinion, I said first of all, I said
Deontay Wilder. It's gonna happen, bro.
Look. And I said Deontay Wilder is gonna fight the fight, but I said in my opinion, if I was advising him, I would say let's take a step back. But he doesn't want to do that. That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine if he don't want to do that. That's fine. If he don't want to do it, that's fine. But in the third fight, in my opinion, like I just said, I'm putting my money on Fury. Fury is going to win the third fight because I don't think Deontay Wilder is going to come with enough adjustments to win the third fight, in my opinion.
Fury's
you can have your opinion.
Fury's going to be the favorite in the third fight. Okay. Like I said, I'm not ready to give a prediction yet on that fight. Mm-hmm. I mean, we'll see how that plays out. Callie's actually talked about when we started the show. He was talking about what Wilder has to do, if anything, to we already talked about all that, but. Mm-hmm. I don't know. What exactly is like your take here? What thoughts you want from us?
I don't see him being able to make the necessary adjustments to win the third fight. I think I think people need to just see what's going on, man, and look at the fact that
let me put it this way, bro.
Already shown. Hold on. Tyson Fury has already shown that he can win in multiple ways. Mm-hmm. And when a fighter of that level can win multiple ways and you got a tremendous puncher, I'm going with the guy that can win multiple ways because a boxing match ends in multiple different ways. It doesn't always end in a knockout. It doesn't always end in a knockout. You said what?
I said absolutely. Well, we don't know what's going to happen in the third fight. I do disagree with the whole don't do the third fight. He wants to do the third fight. It's going to happen. It's coming.
That's good.
And we'll find out in the ring.
Yeah, that's good. I'm ready to get my prediction right now. Tyson Fury with the same. He gonna come out in the same posture. Why should he change anything different? It's the onus on Deontay Wilder to make the adjustment towards what's going on that Tyson Fury is going to do. If he doesn't do anything, if he don't show that he can make Tyson Fury do something different, Tyson Fury is going to look, man. It's going to end sooner this time. It's going to be 5 rounds. It's going to be 6 rounds. It's going to end sooner if Deontay Wilder does not do something different. and he's already showing a not a willingness to go into his camp and learn something different, man. He has for this fighter, for Tyson Fury. Now, if he fight Anthony Joshua, I think Wilder can beat Anthony Joshua. But this guy is a puzzle for Deontay Wilder. Not Anthony Joshua. I think he could beat Anthony Joshua, but this guy is tough. This guy's gonna be Anthony Joshua cannot beat this Fury either. So people that's picking Anthony Joshua to beat Fury, no, he's not gonna beat this Fury. This Fury right here with this mindset, as long as he keep his mind clear and keep his nose clear and don't get on that, that drugs or whatever, he's going to be the undisputed champion in the next year and a half.
Well, look, I don't know what happened here. I know Kelly was on. I thought he wasn't on. I seen the chat. He's saying he got kicked. I don't know what happened, to be honest with you. But as far as that goes, I mean, you gave your take. I felt like there was more you wanted to say, but I mean, that's all you wanted to say. I mean, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I can give my take on the Mikey Garcia versus Jesse Vargas. I thought Mikey Garcia won the fight.
Well, I'm not gonna.
I know there's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Huh?
I mean, I'm going to be talking about that tomorrow, to be honest with you. But
okay. Go ahead.
But as far as that goes, bro, do you have any final thoughts?
Now, final thoughts is Deontay Wilder winning. Now, one thing I can say about Deontay Wilder is the man showed he got heart. His equilibrium was off for 4 rounds. He went in there, tried to do his best. He fought to the end. Until Breland stopped the fight. I mean, I had no problem with Breland stopping the fight because your corner is there to protect you, to help protect you. It's easier said that let me go out on my shield and don't when y'all in the gym or around the kitchen table. When he's in there getting. You said what?
No, go ahead, finish your point.
When he in there, when he in there taking punishment, and Mark Breland been with him since he was in the Olympics and stuff like that. You ain't gonna just let that man take no punishment. I think Mark Breland did the right thing. Now Wilder lived to fight the rematch and come in stronger for the third fight. That's my thoughts. All right, man.
Yeah, that's where I disagree. He's saying there's really nothing that Wilder can do in a rematch, and I just call absolute bullshit on it. There's a lot of different things that Wilder can do. And so starting with countering Tyson Fury, there was opportunities for counters, with Fury being very heavy on the front foot, and Fury would left himself wide open. I also think the extra weight is the detriment to Tyson Fury. Wilder can also turn Tyson Fury. So at the end of the day, Wilder can definitely make changes. We also know that he has the ability to fight off the back foot, and I think Wilder needs to, tighten up his stamina for the rematch. And I think Deontay Wilder. I also think Wilder should come in a little bit lighter for the rematch. But I completely disagree with you that there's nothing Wilder can do. It's like Wilder should just succumb to this dude. I just disagree. Is he a tough fight? Yeah, Fury's a bad motherfucker, bro. I'm never gonna say that. That's a fact. But Wilder can definitely overcome Tyson Fury, man. It's just about being prepared to slip and counter, to parry shots. Fury wants to be heavy with the jab. Parry it. You can parry that jab. You can slip that jab. You can slip and counter. There's opportunities to make him pay. When you're heavy on the front foot, there's opportunities to make a dude pay. So at times you want to invite him into being on the front foot and being that heavy on the front foot. Fury was very heavy on the front foot, which is why he missed badly at times. And Wilder, if Wilder doesn't have to make him miss by a mile, just make him miss by an inch. There's an opportunity to devastatingly knock out Tyson Fury early in the fight. So this is where we disagree. And if worse come to worse, if he does start to counter Fury and say he doesn't land a devastating knockout shot, I guarantee he'll get Tyson Fury to be able to become an outboxer again. And that's another advantage for Deontay Wilder, which will give him an opportunity to land a big shot. As Fury has shown, he fades in fights. He's faded in the first and the second fight. So that's why I'm saying I completely disagree with your assessment.
And he fell off. I don't know. But, he fell off.
Nah, but it's true. These are things that we know. Wilder lost the second fight. That's obvious. I can't take nothing away from Tyson Fury. He won the fight. He went in there. He won the fight. And like I said, with the whole situation with the glove, that's something that Deontay Wilder's team should be taking care of. You got to inspect that. But with the opportunity to act like Wilder can't make any adjustments, like what, bro, I've been watching boxing for a long time. Fighters can definitely make an adjustment. There's definitely different things you can do, and Wilder not only has the physical attributes, he's also shown the ability to become a fast learner, to learn quickly, and to adapt to new things. So I definitely disagree that Wilder can't do some things differently. And we've also saw that in even in the second fight, that the double and triple jab worked. It was very effective. So he's trying to act like that this stuff is not available. It's just nonsense. It's just someone looking at it from a fight. His memory is he just remembers Fury just dominating the whole fight and didn't really see what Wilder did effectively. And it's just like, no, you can still see there's opportunities for a fighter, even in a fight where they've lost one decisively. You can still look for opportunities. So, okay, this is what he did well.
He should hold off, till October or something like that.
Yeah, I would like him to pull. I would like for him to push that back and not to have such a quick turnaround in the summertime. I think it would behoove him to try to move that fight back into the fall, giving him more time to learn, to adjust to new training, especially not just push it back in September. Push that thing back until around Thanksgiving would be, or right before Christmas, or right after Thanksgiving would be even better. The first week or the second week of December, if you don't want to compete against conference championship week with college football. The second week of December could be, which would probably be even better. It'd be a time to do it because it's right before Christmas as well. So I think they should consider something like that, either right before Thanksgiving or right after Thanksgiving, or a little bit right before Christmas or something like that, or you can even do it after Christmas. But to say that there's nothing he can't do is like, come on, man. You've seen boxing. You've been watching boxing for 30 years. I've been watching boxing longer than that. I've been watching boxing since I was about 5 years old. I'm 42, so 35 years for me. So at the end of the day, I know there's adjustments that fighters can make, and we've seen fighters get absolutely, completely dominated and then come back in a rematch and absolutely take someone's head off. So to say that there's never an opportunity for a fighter to do something different is just not true. Now, can Fury absolutely come back in his rematch? He could dominate Wilder early, even worse in the rematch. That's also an opportunity potential too. But let's just see it. And he keeps saying that, Wilder. If Wilder takes his fight off, like I've stated before, we know that Fury father wants him to retire. We know Fury isn't subject to retire. There's a lot of things that Tyson Fury does. He's so unreliable that if you have an opportunity to rematch for, you got to take it when you can. You can't sit here and hope that Fury's gonna want to fight you after, potentially fighting Anthony Joshua or Dillian White. You don't know that he may retire after that fight.
Yeah.
So you can't risk it with this dude. He's just not a normal kind of guy. If it was some normal dude, I would say, okay, you could potentially push his back and try to get him back later. But I don't think Tyson Fury is going to be fighting over the next couple of years. I don't. I think Fury's going to hang it up. Fury's going to want to go back to snorting coke. I mean, that's just who he is.
You never know if the dude, goes suicidal again, disappears, So
yeah,
it is what it is. But I do got to run, bro. But man, it was a really good boxing discussion. Well, Wayne disappeared. I don't know where he went, but it is what it is. I wanted to let him come on and all that. And that's it. All right, man.
His name is Wayne.
Well, that's what his username is, but it was boxing. Remember Boxing Talk?
Oh, Boxing Talk. I didn't see him in the chat room. Okay.
But the dude was on now. Yeah. All right. This is D-Style Boxing, guys. And I'll let you guys know about later, all right? Peace.
Yep. Keep it boxing, man.
Yeah, keep it boxing.